practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is an invitation to children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets, record albums, have their own hidden.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing. We want you to smoke the natural herb. Some call it marijuana, some call it sensimedia, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it ganja.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
We don't need sound.
This is a podcast. Podcast.
All right.
I need
now we're back.
Oh, did we have any of that, or we lost it all?
None of that. We just.
None of that. Welcome to the Adam Dunn Show. I am your host, Adam Dunn. I am going to do this like one of those car salesmen. And over here we have Dave Johnny. Then we have Haley. No. So
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, everybody. Sorry we had a
All
little.
right. Sorry
It is
about
Mercury retrograde. First of all,
Man,
I'm
it
starting
is.
off with that. Okay. The reason that the show is late is because of Mercury retrograde.
Yeah, but we can't get that comedy gold back, though.
I know, it was so good, dude. You don't even understand right now.
It was really funny.
I know, it was good. It was good. It was so good. We should not even try to repeat it. It's not worth it.
Nope.
Right on.
Well,
Sorry, guys.
Not worth it.
I
but
am going
you're
to repeat.
You're repeating your part. Though.
Happy International Women's Day to all the women of Canada.
That was not the funny part, though.
No.
The funny part is that there's probably not any women actually listening to this show.
Booyah! There we go.
We've done the
That was-
demographics of the show.
Hey, see, we're like this is like, it's like we said it before or something. It's true. We've done the demographics. It was I think about 14%, and that was us pushing it up by about 10. So I think it was really 4%. We couldn't say 4%. That would just nobody ever would listen to the show again. They'd be like, it's so bad.
So it was true. So there are guys in a basement someplace, and their mothers are upstairs, and they can say, "Mom, it's International Women's Day today."
Exactly. Not nationally. See,
Not national.
What an improvement.
I see. I
So we
got
have-
better on
so-
take two.
Women
So-
are a global phenomenon.
So I have in the studio, since nobody heard any of this before, now I don't even know what to call you now, because now you have your own brand. So you may have you may not be wanted to be called by your actual name. So I'll give you a second to think about who you
let me
are.
think.
And I have Jenalise, and I have Haley in the studio. I totally tricked them to come in here, too. They did not know they were going to be on the show. It was a complete
Yeah,
bamboozled.
we were just trying to meet up for a second, and
Yeah. And
now
look at you.
we're
And
on the air.
pretty much going to lose any possibility of getting hired ever again. This is like, I've actually had people not get jobs because they were on the show. That's
But
that's
the
how
women
effective-
demographic just
Like
went
a-
up by 100% right now.
I
so-
have. There's people have said, they fucking listen, they watch the show, bro. I'm like, well, dude, whatever. That's not. Don't come on my show then if you don't want to get called out
We're
for
still
smoke.
worried about that. You don't need to be here.
No, well, then you got the wrong job. If it's like, what? They don't know you smoke weed? Like, oh my.
Wait,
God.
somebody doesn't know. Oh, wait, are we on camera right now?
Of course. Holy
Whoa.
Wait,
Whoa.
wrong number. I mean,
Yeah, no, of course.
on.
We're like,
Dave, my name's Joe.
we're not on one camera. We're on a lot of cameras. We got cameras hidden. There's
Oh,
cameras
no.
everywhere.
I don't know where to look then.
I know. That's the way we like to keep it. So, who are you, and what the hell are you doing on my show?
I am Dave Charnick. I am
real names.
Oh, should I not use my real name on the
No,
air?
I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Go for it.
Everybody knows who I am. I'm Dave Charnick. I've been in the industry a long time. I've advised to a couple of companies in the past, and I'm a big fan of 14er Holistics in Boulder. And I have been just singing their songs for about 9 years right now. And I was very humbled and honored. About a year ago, they put my face on a can of weed.
Wow.
So they can do no wrong in my eyes.
I guess not, right? That's like pretty much that is what most guys about your age would dream about, and
My age?
Yeah, we're in that age. I'm in the same age as you.
I'm almost 50.
I am just about 52.
Oh my God.
I'll be 50 in 2 months, dude.
Wow.
I'm older than you. Put it that way.
When do we
That's how
qualify for like disabled free weed benefits?
Yeah, it should be lower than 65 for sure, just because of the PTSD situation we've had. We all have PTSD. That's obvious. I mean, come on.
Resistance fatigue.
There's something wrong with all of us.
But so Dave you got your face on a can, and what's the name of this? Is it all? What is it? All those cans, or just one of those?
No,
one strain, right?
This is one strain. So this was the strain that I fell in love with at 14er.
And I heard about that one. That was a.
This is the truth.
And that was a really weird land race thing brought back from somewhere. That was kind of a crazy story, which I was like, it didn't look anything like anything you'd imagine from a land race.
Well, let's just say it arrived in the United States from Jamaica, and it grows beautiful flowers.
And where did it come from before that, though? Because I remember it being like, was it Colombian or something like that? Or nobody knows.
No, I don't. I think it comes from somewhere in Jamaica.
Well,
I'm going to say.
Actually, nothing does. But anyway, it's okay.
It came to Jamaica from somewhere else. I don't know.
It all did, for sure.
Smart. That's smart packaging. It's really nice branding. It looks good.
It's beautiful. It has a little bit of nitrogen. Why don't you open up one and you can hear the little, it's like a can of tennis balls.
Oh, yeah.
You got to line up the little things because remember, it's child resistant. We have to protect the babies.
Let's hear it.
Hold it fist away.
Don't cut yourself.
It's an awesome noise.
Ooh.
Did not hear it.
Ooh.
Didn't hear it.
Still sounding
Yeah, we
good.
did.
Someone overdosed on caffeine?
I heard it.
Imagining?
Not
I didn't
the
hear shit. No, there was no tss.
I heard it.
That's like, it didn't queef. It didn't queef us.
I'm just used to the sound.
It wasn't the proper.
You-
Well, you know what? We have 2 more cans that are not open we can do.
This is well done.
And so they crossed the truth with Deadhead OG and my son who works at the grow.
It's got like a cat pissy kind of thing to it, which I like. It's like,
I love it. And they needed to give it a name before they put it into the system so it can be sold. And my son just happened to be in the right place at the right time. He said, what do you want to call it? And he says, how about we call it Dave Charnick? He says, well, we can't put your dad's name on a can of weed, but maybe his initials will work. And there it is.
Nice.
and there it is. DJC, by the way. What's the J stand for?
Jason.
Oh,
Jones.
no, dude.
Jonesin for pot.
Wow, Jason, like Pinsky you're talking about?
Oh, no. I mean, it's not. It's Jack. I don't know Pinsky.
Oh, my God. So you share
I'm
a
sorry,
name with
Pinsky.
that
There's
man?
going to be 5 minutes of them ripping on you now.
You actually share a name with him. That's terrible.
Do I have to leave the show now?
Well, almost, but at the same time, just the fact that I feel sorry for you now, so you can stay. How's
Well,
that?
just don't make fun of me like you make fun of Pinsky because you rip on him like no one.
I'm trying to go
Did I?
here.
Oh, here we go. Sorry.
It's
Tough.
I'll have to open the last one. Maybe it's the.
Maybe you
yeah, I just can't do
Maybe
it
you
right, I'm sure.
deflurf them. Yeah.
Deflurf.
Deflurf them?
I don't know.
All right, here we go.
I'm not sure what it would be called.
Ready?
Oh, I heard that. I heard the.
He's a pro. The guy's a pro. See?
Done that
So at least you're
before.
fired. You're fired, and he's hired. You open the cans. from
I have
now
a
on.
job now.
So, how much money did these thing in the end cost you? How much have you spent at 14ers? You think in the last 9 years? Let's give us a guesstimate of your consumption.
Well, I think Evan has 2 children who have their college educations already paid for by Dave Jarnick.
That's why he's willing. I mean, I would definitely be willing to name things after if I knew you had, because you're like the Custy of all Custies. Look at you. You're the ultimate Custy. I could just tell.
Look, I got the brand right there.
Yep.
I got my Stoned I Am shirt. I want to be a walking billboard at the conferences next year, like a race car driver. When I walk around, I've got this little brand here and a little brand there, and
As long as they're all paid for. As long as they're all paid.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you take care of that. You know, I'm a bad at negotiating for myself.
Don't even ask me, dude.
It's a done deal.
Yeah, I get you done. I get everyone else
Rim
done
shot.
deals. Doesn't
Cymbal
always
crash.
get myself though.
Me too. I negotiate so much better for other people than I do for myself.
So who's growing all this weed? Like, who's the main grower there? I'm sure you're tight with all these people.
So it's Reed and my son.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Now we have something. Now you've redeemed yourself.
Thank you.
Through your own son.
Thank you. He got a PhD education early in life and decided he was going to apply it.
Nice. And was it like biology and things? Was he on that side, or was he just taking like tech? He was going for accounting.
No, he knew what he was going to do. He wanted to get into the workforce, so he started at the beginning trimming, and within a few months, he was the guy running the trimmers, and then he did more and more and more, and I guess I did well parenting. That's the only credit I'll take in life, but he's a good man.
Nice. And so, what's their technique? Is it organic growing, or is it?
Drain the waste cocoa. I don't think they can call it organic. I would say it's suborganic. They do their best. They're not using
They're going for like a clean factor, maybe. That's usually the.
Give it a smell. It's got the best nose. I've yet to see Tropicana's equal. We haven't looked at that one yet.
That Tropicana was nice.
Yeah,
it
that's this one.
It looked good, and it's funny because in those nitrogen packs, the weed usually gets really hard. It seems like, but that bud was really like it still had a lot of life in it.
So what do you got for papers? Were these named after you too? You got your
Oh
own
no,
papers?
it's their 14er papers. So I don't. They're regular papers.
Okay. Are they decent ones, or are we talking about regular?
Take a hit off of it. You don't like the papers. You roll it again with yours.
Actually, I got some raws. I think I'll go grab those.
There you go.
I got raws.
But I also brought this. They call it wasp honey. This you want to smell. This is a super straw guava. Smell that. And this is a Lost Tribe.
And these are all BHO extractions, I assume.
That is live rosin.
Okay.
So I believe it was just squished.
Yep.
And this is from, what's the company? Ambrosia, right? On the box over there?
Apothecary Farms.
Apothecary Farms. They do some really good work.
Yeah, they just opened up a store in Denver. I've been going there for some concentrates lately.
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of. Nice color. Smells nice.
Yeah, it smelled good. Looked good.
That one smells really good.
It's fantastic. You get to come on a radio show and smoke weed and talk about weed.
Hey, man.
You live in the dream.
Yeah, it's a rough life.
Living the dream.
It's a rough life. Well, it's weird too because like I just came back from Vegas, and when you're there for non-show days, like when you're just there with other business and stuff, and it's like you walk around and it's a totally different crowd. And you know how once there's a show in town, it's like all your boy. You go from like it used to. We treated it like it is getting to be now in a sense for normal people, because now normal people actually can get weed, and it's weird. You just drive up and you're like, wow, this landscape is changing so drastically. Like it's there. That's a classic place because it's of course understands how to entertain people, deliver. That Planet 13 place is ridiculous. It's like it's it's so big, but it's so useless. It's so unnecessary. You know what I mean? More unnecessary real estate.
I go to only Vegas for once a month for a day. I don't really shop at dispensaries there, but but I'm on the Planet 13 mailing list. I get it every day. I love seeing what they're going to put on special and seeing that strains that we built out here are finding their way into the Vegas community and requested.
Well, the weed there is actually pretty good though. I was pretty like, whatever I did see, it seems like they have so many anal fucking LA people there, probably just bitching and moaning about it not being as good as back where they're from. They actually stepped their game up pretty hard. Like you can tell they were like, okay, and then you're like put it in, and now to the point because they have the desert, so they got it's just like here dry as fuck, and so there's no issues really. Whereas any place that's moist has always got like storage issues.
So this is why your demographic is only men and not women, because there are 2 women on the show and we're doing all the talking.
Terrible.
Yeah, I know.
Perfect segue.
Exactly.
Into medical cannabis
There you
tourism, though. Talking about Vegas.
Bam! There we go.
Shout out to St. Croix.
Right? That's why we're here.
Look at him. He's all
Segway Charnick.
You're trying
yeah.
to put your name on everything.
So coincidentally, we had some like. So you're our mutual friend, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Classic. So
I think we've met a couple times before.
No, we have met. But here's the funny thing. So I get a call from my friend when I was on the show last week. I talked about going down to St. Croix. When I got back, I got this message that a friend of mine, so a mutual friend, and I got the call, but I'd never saved your number, right? So I just got this number, and classically, I did the stupid thing and answered like an unknown number, but I could tell because we had some discussion before that we were friends, but it wasn't much. Like, it was really, like, we only had a couple little messages, didn't have a clue who it was, and was like, hey, yeah, cool, no problem. It was one of those deals. And then later, kind of like, I gotta know who this person is, but I can't ask because, I've already...
Isn't there a Seinfeld episode about that? Where
Exactly. Well, that's how it was. I was at past the point. I was like, I can't do it now. So then I had to
Vulva.
Then I had to call him to have him check on. So anyway, when I was there a couple weeks ago, and it was, I could feel the energy on the island is like, wow, this place is about to change. And you actually lived on the island, Haley, for 4 years, you said?
For about 4 years, yeah. I moved back to Denver about 3 years ago, but consistently go back every few months, so still pretty rooted there.
And what got you there in the first place?
A travel nurse assignment. Went down, was tired of the cold, and had never been down to the Caribbean before, and had a mutual friend up here that had moved down. And she never came back, which is what tends to happen with people.
Yeah, that's a classic Caribbean sort of story, isn't it? It is one of those places that if you go on holiday, it's like it's so rough because you're just scheming in your mind how you can figure it out. Like, you're like, maybe if I do this, that, and the other, I could get this little thing over here. It does.
I literally cry every time I leave. Like, I've never experienced that before. I'm at the airport, like, crying that I have to leave every time.
Yeah, well, it's very quick, like, especially this year with the snow. Like, when I was checking back with everybody, I was just in Puerto Rico and staying and, like, coming out in my flip-flops and, like, you check on everything. They're like, it's -4. It's fucking horrible, dude. It's I was like, wow. And then I came back this morning, and it's like, it's really hot and nice. And I missed the whole fucking thing. But
3 days ago was a degree.
Yeah.
It went up to 10.
Yeah, this last time that I came back, I'd been down there for about 3.5 weeks, and I came back, and it was about 2 degrees.
Yeah.
For days. It's pretty
Well, Colorado's it's bearable normally, but when you're like it's instant, you get so spoiled so fast. So when you come back, even after
I'm like, it's been cold for 2 days now. Like, where is the sun and the warmth? Like, we've done this long enough.
I wouldn't mind living in a climate where I don't have to own a coat.
Yeah,
That would be great.
Yeah, but it's not bad for business. But just stay up here, keep buying jackets off me.
Are they 100% hemp now?
No,
yeah, but you don't make them in my size.
No, I mean you're
No. I was at the show last month, and
maybe we didn't have your size. I mean, what make it?
They run all of it runs incredibly small.
All right, guys, you start bitching now.
Cece's all like in her small, looking so fly, and
Did I touch a nerve?
I can't even with a large. I'm like, I guess I can make this work.
So true, though. So true.
It's true. Everyone, buy a size up in Finland.
Size up.
Should we do some shouts at them, or?
Yeah, let's do the shout outs real quick. Bam, let's get that over with. But you guys have to leave, you think? Or?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's wait on the shout outs.
Well, that's fine with me. I was just asking if you wanted to do it.
Exactly. We'll do that, and then as we're doing the shout outs, then they can just be like, all right, later. So we'll just keep. So
we don't want to lose half the female audience right now. So
we are
around.
definitely losing half of the female hosting as
Hosting,
and guests, hosting and guests. Yeah. So, and how do you guys know each other? For how long?
A really long time.
And you're originally Colorado native, or no?
Since '91, so been here for a long time.
Yeah. It's and so, but you're doing nursing. You're obviously not doing nursing.
No, I'm not a nurse.
Right. So I've always, like walked the line of growing up in Colorado, growing up in all the different scenes that Colorado's provided, and then just happened to go into nursing about 15 years ago, and really have been able to maintain a balance of still kind of riding the wave of both, and have always, tried to participate more in like holistic type stuff even before this is.
That's kind of where I was going. So, are you doing anything like? Are you doing like alternative things, CBD things on your own, or are you kind of like
not on my not on my own per se, but have definitely participated in with others that have been doing it for a while.
It's interesting when people like Cece's really into like she just likes to like absorb as much as possible, so she's always watching a lot of herbal things, and she's really into like and holistic using like medicinal mushrooms and kind of on that, like taking in as much as possible. And it's interesting because a lot of people are like behind it, but they don't really understand. Just like when it was with weed, with like, people like smoke a joint or two, and then there's people who fucking grow weed and live weed and do weed. It's weed. So then when the two, and now it's happening with CBD and stuff. Like people heard, so then they're telling, and they're not really like understanding even what they're telling.
Right.
And I think nowadays, like it's weird because it does work. And I was trying to explain it to a taxi driver. I was like, back in the day when it was like snake oil, and I bet those guys when they rolled into town, there was like the swaggy snake oil and there was the good snake oil. So like you knew like one guy had the proper, and the other guy had swag, and it was just selection. And I bet those. Sometimes the guy would leave town and everybody would be like, everything was so much better, and it was probably just high CBD or like maybe a 1-to-1, like a perfect natural plant or something, and it was strong and it actually worked. And then there was a guy who took the dirty weed and made a shitty extract. And
Right. That's what I think is really interesting about St. Croix and the island's implementation of their medical cannabis program. There's a whole breadth of providers that are typically not found in any of the states. Nurses can be providers and prescribe. Homeopathic doctors, chiropractors, naturopaths.
All of that's already listed as independent, being able to be independent.
Right.
And
So everybody has a medical card down there?
And they're very interested in creating medical tourism around this.
They literally just passed it, so I don't think they have anything in place for the locals yet. But the idea is also to get people to come in with their medical cards too, and then that'll open up the island.
Well, and the nice thing there is that even if you don't have a medical card somewhere else, but you have a qualifying ailment, you don't have to have a card anywhere else. You can show up, you can meet with a provider, and just you're good to go. You have a temporary card. So the availability for that is
fantastic.
Great. Yeah.
Isn't that how like Vegas started it? They opened up the cards and said, if you're a medical patient from anywhere, you can come in, and so there were more
reciprocity. Yeah, it happens with a lot of municipalities.
It's weird how Colorado doesn't do it.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's Delaware, Vegas, or Nevada,
Rhode
Island, and I think it used to be not Minnesota, north of here.
Michigan?
No, just north. Yeah, Michigan had
Montana.
it. Montana, one of those M states. Montana had it, but then they canceled their program and they put it back in.
Well, not a lot of people care about medical anymore because
I know it's sad.
They can
I was just going to say,
capitalize and make a bunch of dollars.
We need to keep medical alive.
I know.
The only thing that's cool about recreational is that, like you were talking about snake oil, there's not really any part of the plant that you can sell that would be snake oil. It's at least beneficial. You're at least furthering the agenda of the plant.
100%, and I think it's down to now people who in a way from the beginning, if it's like if you treat it properly, it's actually finally coming around, right? It's like, but if you it's the longest history here, but it's still like you can watch how it grew, and like a couple of people sold out, they built up enough to make it work and kind of moved on or whatever. There's been tons of consolidation and tons of reworking of the thing, and there's a couple of crews out there that are actually still grinding, and it's amazing to watch because you're like, it's only like 9 years, and it feels like 20 for those people.
Right,
what I mean? You can see that, like, you go in and see them, and you're just like, you just see like, oh, and I feel like, wow, man, you aged a lot in the last 9 years. I've seen, because there's a few people that are still, pretty solid, and it's like, wow, how are you guys even doing this? You know what I mean? Because it takes a toll on you. I think people don't realize that growing cannabis is a lot of fucking work, and it's also just a lot of organization. That's your sort of specialty, obviously. Not mine, obviously. And then when it comes to like what you were talking about down there, like for tourism and stuff, I mean, the idea of you feel so much better going down there and getting sort of better than, if you're up here and you're feeling all aches and pains, it ain't going away. But if you get down there and get treated right and have the right sort of diet and, combination of all the above, and then add weed on top of that, It's like it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Right?
Cannabis is a really cool plant, but all plants are pretty fucking cool, actually. There's a lot of benefit to be gained from them.
Well, it's cool down there because when I went to I was there during the agricultural week, so got to go to the best part was in the back. They had all the plants, all the local plants, and that was cool. It was like, wow. I was like,
When you really
that's
get
when I
to-
wanted my wife
yeah.
to be there because I was like, oh, I just kept calling her like, because I was not going to take everything back with me. But it was just like I kept going like, you'd love it right now, just like piles of it, you know. And it'd be like, what, you know? It's
And they're
like,
all just like the most perfect specimen. They're all just like so beautiful.
yeah, and they had people making, they had sugarcane guys back there and all kinds of different types of people working.
Look at that. Somebody didn't mute their phone. Who was that?
We were told to turn our phones off.
I had to leave mine in the other room.
I know.
We met with the security guard at the door. He was like, you have to turn your phone off.
I know.
We have to get those yonder pouches.
Sorry,
Put your phone in a pouch.
Sorry, guys.
Well, segue, Dave.
That was actually
thank you
MTI calling.
Yeah,
for creating
definitely.
another
I've seen worse. A
segue.
question.
You
that
guys
someone
should
had.
start shout-outs.
Yeah.
I'm going to give one final shout-out to
Yes.
Mother Nature. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
And you're all right, Adam. Thanks for having us on the show.
Thank you.
I know.
Thanks for sharing your time with us.
Of course, barely. Barely. No, but thanks for coming on unexpectedly, which is great. And now the pieces of the puzzle have been made. So I think when it comes to St. Croix, either I'll see you down there myself and or, we're going to be doing some things down there, I think, just because the fact that it's so close to the other things that I'm doing. So I'm like, okay, this is perfect. And my old friend, it's always nice when the circle gets closed. And like Alfie, who's Cloud9
Right.
Club, he used to live here and lived at my mom's house. And it was like,
Right.
so it's a very small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what I was talking to Shelly earlier today about just like how cool it is finally connecting like this circle with all of
Yeah.
us and hopefully being able to.
Relationships are the real currency. Fuck capitalism.
Right, and
Dig it.
and I think when it comes to a combination place, Colorado, St. Croix, they sort of work together because they're not. There's no overlap there at all.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
You feel like, okay, now I am somewhere else. I love the first thing that's really tripped me out was when I got in the car. I wasn't even paying attention that we were driving
Driving
the
on the
opposite side. And then all of a sudden I was like, whoa, what's going on? And I got all nervous because I looked up for a second because I was looking at my phone and not paying attention. I look up and I was like, where the hell is he going? He's going on the left. And I was like, oh, it is the left. Oh, never mind. This place, because I can understand on the British version. Right? It's like one of the weird ones that even he couldn't answer me why. I was like, why didn't you guys ever change? He's like, just.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, it just.
Because there's no cars there that make sense to drive on that side, so that's as stupid as you're driving a regular car on the wrong side of the
But
road.
I mean, to look at everything as far as changing just the flow of all of the roads and all of everything that's just how everything has been laid out. And they, it wasn't. I don't think it was too long ago. It was 50 or 60 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that it's been a recent transition and so they just kept it.
Yeah, no, it's funny because it definitely threw me off.
It's harder for me to come back here and drive on the right than it was for me to go down and drive on the left.
I had it in Australia where I had a little Mini Cooper, and when I first got down there, I was just doing it all the time. I'd pull out and go the wrong side, and I'd be like, what the oh shit! And I did at least 10 times.
Yeah.
It was too comfortable.
Yeah, I pull out here, and I'm like, get on the right, get on the right, get on the right. I have to talk myself through it.
Definitely not one of the things you want to not understand.
Yeah,
when
cool.
driving. But so we'll definitely check out. You got any kind of shout outs for any kind of anything?
I don't know. I'm
Before
definitely with you on the shouting out the International Women's Day and Mother Nature, and definitely excited to be moving this forward with everybody. So.
All right, Jan, Elise, and Haley.
Yeah,
Thanks,
this is
guys.
a cool origin story that we will have.
Yes.
It all started on the radio.
Exactly.
Unexpectedly.
Tens of people were listening.
Tens. I'm thinking 20, 30 tops.
Tens of.
Is it higher actually because you got chicks?
Right.
Oh, way higher, dude.
It's 63 right now.
Dang. Shout out to those
Right.
63 dudes.
Right.
Keep killing it.
Thank you.
Keep your grow rooms clean.
63. Holy moly.
Sweet.
That was a euphemism.
All right.
Live is killing it.
How many do we know? Personally, though?
59.
59. Sweet. It's nice meeting you.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, guys.
Uh-oh.
Thank you.
Now you're way over there. Now we're all far away from each
Now
other.
I'm so far. Oh, Adam.
So far
I miss you.
away. Oh, Adam don't know.
You can scoot over if you feel like it.
Yeah,
That's what you want
actually,
to do.
while we're doing the shout outs, you can move around. Feel free to move around.
Feel free to move around,
Feel
but it's
free to
easy to
step-
talk to you this way.
Yeah,
It is.
Just stay there. It's all good.
It's all good. We'll stay here.
It's all gravy.
I don't give a fuck.
You might reach
I don't
on-
need you to be near me. This could be a Weinstein.
hug?
Could be a Weinstein moment here.
It would never be. Never,
right.
never,
I've already survived Big Dummy. Don't worry. So, all right, let's start our shout outs.
New Millennium Nutrients.
New Millennium Nutrients. Our friends over at newmillenniumnutrients.com have one of the best lines out there for, especially for large scale growing. If you have to, calculate your grow, you can get on their calculator online. Makes it real easy. You can buy them in any size, so you can buy up to 50 gallons. So check them out, newmillenniumnutrients.com. They're also, I've been using about 3.5, I think about 4 years now. All pretty much all based on the season, very easy to use, very smartly produced. Some of the best products they have are like the Decision, their Ruby Fulvic product, their Winter Frost. They're all unique. Just check them out, newmillenniumnutrients.com. And we'll have them we'll have Jaron and guys on the show at some point soon. But yeah, they're starting to get some traction. Start to see them all over the place. See you guys.
Bye.
And as always, when contacting them, mention the Dunn deal.
Mention the Dunn deal.
Done.
What kind of discount did they get?
Who knows? It's a done deal.
Yeah.
It's the done
Done
deal.
deal.
Done deal. Nobody knows. Nobody knows when the done deal is. Sometimes you do. Sometimes there's a specific done deal, but usually it's just what the hell.
I'd like the Dunn discount.
Yeah.
It's the all-knowing, omnipotent
Yeah, well, it's
discount.
just pretty much. It's just you get a deal. Dude.
All right.
4.2% off.
Oh, I hope more than that.
Incredibles.
Incredibles. I swung by their office today. It was
yeah.
I got to go to their new spot, which is not as incredible as the production spot. Of course, it's the office, which is like incredibly office-y, but it was cool. It was clean. It was not the. But I went over to where they used to be, and they had that place jamming, dude. It was like packed to the gills. I was like, okay, this is where the office used to be, but now it's production. So, wrong spot.
I love Incredibles. That was actually my first edibles company here in Colorado that I fell in love with. Seeing their chocolate bars on the wall, how they all work together. They each had their own packaging, but it had this just homogenous feel to it. You knew that was an Incredibles bar. You might not have known what was in it until you looked on the package. I love their gummies. They even have new tarts and mints and a whole lot of products
I
coming
don't have
out.
to do anything over here. Just sit back and listen.
What do you mean? I had lunch with Bob the other day. I love those guys. That company is absolutely fantastic. My only surprise is they're not on the shelves in like every legal state across the country.
Well, they're in a bunch. We keep kind of getting it all wrong, so I don't even try to say which ones. But definitely they're in a bunch of states. Go online.
They should be in more. They're great.
Check them out though. iloveincredibles.com. You can get a store finder and actually find out where really they're at. And you can also check out all the different products they have. Everything down to like balm, for things for your bath and beautiful fucking skincare and all sorts of stuff. So it's like, it's getting there.
They're there. They even have a bunch of CBD lines coming out right now. They have multiple ratios, a 1-to-1, 10-to-1s, maybe even a 30-to-1. They're cutting edge right now. I like their chemistry. I know they sell their own brand of extractor too.
They do that. Yeah, they're all in one kind of store. Hunter, if you want to hang out, Hunter, you can come sit down. It's up to you.
Okay. Yeah. You don't got it. You're more than welcome to, though.
Okay, I was just checking. The thing is with those guys is it's about consistency and it's about that they grow their own product, and that's the most important part, and that's what makes me want to work with them from the beginning, because I was like, all right, these are guys that actually take everything seriously and produce their own everything. They don't buy in anybody else's crap, so that way they understand it from beginning to end, and that is a successful edible company. There's plenty out there that buy all sorts of trim from all sorts of people, and then they fail tests and wonder why, and you're like, obviously, no one's gonna tell you everything.
See, look, now somebody else didn't mute their phone.
Who's that we got?
Oh,
James?
Yeah, he's just waiting to call in. That's all. It was
James Bean, man on the scene.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, he can call in at the very end when I'm almost there. I'm almost there. James.
Almost there.
Almost there. Almost there.
Yeah,
So
you just dial in on the number.
Yeah,
we're back to normal here.
We're all back to normal.
I think. We'll see.
But it is Mercury retrograde, so don't even start. Don't even start trying to say.
I didn't just say
something
that.
could happen.
You don't want to even be semi-confident. You want to be like not confident at all.
It's going to be broke.
But if you want to be confident, this is a segue.
Who's next?
Contact Builder Soil.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy will take care of you. We had him on the show for a short time. Congratulations, getting married soon, so that's awesome to hear. And he keeps outgrowing every time he's just blowing up. You know, they're the number one source for hard to find amendments, hard to find living soil products, getting soil in itself. If you're in Colorado, I don't know about this year, but last year there was some free shipping. What's going on with the free freight? Still Colorado, Colorado and
New Mexico.
And New Mexico. So that's pretty good, especially when you start talking soil.
Can we go back to Incredibles for a second? Because I forgot something.
Oh my God!
Wow. So I forgot.
Never go
something.
back.
Well, because this is a self-serving plug here for myself here. Because
what happened? Is this gonna be a long thing?
No, it's a short one. There's a company called Lucid Green, and you're going to start to see them on all the Incredibles products and see them on about 10 other brands right now across the state, in Washington, in California, and they're building just a transparent trust loyalty rewards program for consumers and bud tender education for bud tenders. And they're launching with Incredibles, and we figure Incredibles is a fantastic brand. Lucid Green should be on a fantastic brand. And I think you're going to see that it's going to change the way you use cannabis in the industry, especially if you're not an everyday user and you don't know how it might affect you. This type of data gathering is going to really help people understand how terpenes affect them, which everybody's reinfusing terpenes into all their products right now. You'll understand cannabinoid ratios, and you might even be able to make predictions for you in the future as you're entering information. It might even be able to tell you, hey, you should stay away from a strain that contains a lot of myrcene. It doesn't do you well. But anyway, Lucid Green, you should check it out. lucidgreen.io.
And if you use Build-A-Soil, you'll get a lot of those terpenes left in your grow there.
Yep.
Dig it.
All right, Mr. Shameless plug over here. Build-A-Soil is, like I said, your number one source for all these hard-to-find amendments and hard, grow products that are organic-based, and that Jeremy can help you in any way, shape, or form. Also, every single person that works at his place is a grower and understands what the fuck's going on and will help you do things right instead of just point you towards the most expensive way to do everything or
YouTube. You can go to YouTube and learn how to do everything, right?
Oh, dude, that's the way to do it.
You shouldn't even bother hiring a consultant and an expert. Just go to YouTube. You'll figure it out. You won't have any problems. You'll make $1 billion overnight.
Dave Tronick, he said so. 855-877-SOIL, buildasoil.com. That's where I would be going if I were you and I was looking for any of these things. And free shipping inside of Colorado and New Mexico. And don't forget Mr. Ron Wallace at wallacespot.com. And he is the man for the mycorrhizal products and anything basically rhizosphere orientated. So if you want good roots, this is your guy. He can make this fucking miracles happen. 10-pound tomatoes, 2,000-pound fucking pumpkins and squashes. He's proven his point there, and now he's getting into cannabis. So get in touch with him direct at wallacespot.com. Tell him you want the Dunn deal. The same with all these guys, except for Incredibles. Can't really get a Dunn deal from them because it's too many places because they won't know what the fuck.
Big Pumpkins. That sounds like a friend of ours.
Big Pumpkins. Which one's our friend of ours?
Our pumpkin grower.
Yeah, which one?
We attempted to get involved in the Vermont project.
Oh, they were directly related.
Yeah,
100%. There was not a 100%.
100%.
So, wallacespot.com. Check him out and go online. Look at Ron Wallace and pumpkins, and you're gonna go, holy shit!
That's a big pumpkin.
That's a fucking big pumpkin.
That's a big fucking pumpkin.
Yeah.
Huge pumpkins.
Huge pumpkins.
Exactly. And
Green Farms.
Don't forget Green Farms. Here in Colorado, organic, produced, living soil. Beautiful, beautiful product. If you happen to be in Colorado Springs, you can go pick up their, and your medical, you can go to their shop. and buys product direct. If you want to grow, you can go to their shop that's over in Louisville and check out their Green Farms seed and feed. Yeah, seed and feed, and they have it all there for organic growing direct. If you live around here, you can go pick that stuff up. And they're going to be on the show at some point too soon. Going to get them on to check out some of their wares. They also got green buffalo. They also do the buffalo, and they do the worms, and they have their own great organic lines. The worms. What's the name of the Rasta worms?
Yes, Rasta worms.
Rasta worms?
Yeah, man.
What they have dreadlocks?
Fuck yeah.
Or the worms look like dreadlocks?
They are they become dread. Yeah, they have their own dreadlocks.
Excellent.
You can definitely. And
Good to know.
And they have Rasta. What's the other one? Rasta Rooster.
Rasta Rooster.
Damn.
Yep.
And what's it? They have one more product.
Buffalo.
Might have said that. What
No.
else? That's it.
Uh-oh.
That was it.
Just the medical dispensary and then
Bam,
Green
that was
Farms Cannabis Education.
Did it?
They didn't license Rasta Pasta after
I think that's already been.
Chef Ra?
I think that's already been done somewhere, dude. Come on.
Chef Ra, high times, way back in the day.
I remember Chef Ra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good man.
Smoked a lot of crack.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I used to just smoke weed with him on Dead Tour.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
Don't do
now-
crack.
Oh well, there you go.
Stay away from the crack, boys and girls.
There's that, and then there's that.
Okay.
Segue.
Seats here now.
And we segued. Oh my God, we laid in. We did a crack joke, and then boom, Seeds Here Now came up. That's where's he at?
I don't know.
Where's that man at? SeedsHereNow.com. They're the best source for all American genetics, and they're got the best guarantee, like complete. If you have any issues, you don't like something, didn't crack, didn't pop, got weird.
Crack again.
I know. I think
Let me have the lighter.
threw a crack joke in there again. I knew that. No, I didn't.
No, you
So no, I didn't.
No.
And yeah, they'll replace them at any kind, at being reasonable. Bam.
We have our first caller of the day.
Caller of the day, and he's calling in, and his name is
Albuquerque, New Mexico. Go ahead.
James.
Hello, 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 hello.
What's up, James?
How are you, my friend?
Hi,
Good, how
James.
you doing? Hello, sir. I'm not familiar with. I love your shirt, but I'm not familiar with you.
You're not familiar with the Adam Dunn show?
With him?
He's the host of the show, man. He's wearing the shirt.
No, I know. No, I understand. Adam. It's the guy with the cool shirt on.
Oh. Yoda?
Yeah.
Stone Diane?
Yoda, yeah.
You don't know him?
Wait
You
a
don't
minute.
know
We're
Dave?
on camera? Oh,
Yes.
shit.
Of course we're on camera. What are you talking about?
Say hi to my family. Hi, guys.
Yeah, so
You thought this was just audio? It's visual.
yeah, no, Dave,
I just wanted to come down
Dave
and
was
watch.
Dave was a big fan. Dave was one of the big fans back when we were with Mitch, and he saw the potential. He thought we were ready to go.
yeah.
He thought we were going to turn into something big, and look, now we haven't got nothing. We haven't got nowhere.
Well, I thought I was going to come on and there were going to be at least 100 listeners, but, I see 68, and I'm thinking,
Well,
man.
that's right now. They don't know what's going on.
It's all the download afterwards. They go like, hey,
it's
did you
all-
hear who was on the Adam Dunn show?
Oh yeah, they go Dave Charnick.
Holy shit. Does he have his face on a can of weed? How
Yeah.
does that
Yeah.
bozo have his face on a can of weed?
Yeah, how does that happen? No, we
Right place, right time.
It's your son. We've already agreed on that. We agreed your son is superior to you.
In every way.
In every way, perfect. Well,
In
that's
every
good.
way.
You've done a good job.
I thank you.
Yeah, you've done a good
I
job.
thank you.
So what's up, James? Tell us what's happening in your world now.
My neck of the woods. In my neck of the woods. Well, we're going on March Madness this month, so we have we have 3 big sales a year.
Mm-hmm.
The March Madness sale, my birthday, Boss is Gone, sell everything sale, and then the Black Friday sale. So with March Madness, we want to promote people to go out and buy seeds. Don't buy clones. Don't buy somebody used grandma's clones. Start from seed.
Used grandma clothes?
Used grandma clones. Wait a minute.
Well, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure they have. How old is that clone that you got? Or if you buy it at the store, how many other people have it? You know what I mean? Like, how fresh of a plant did it come off of? Was it somebody's mother plant they've been hauling around for 17 years, or was it off a younger plant? So, I'm just not a fan of clones in general until they clean them up and get them so they start right. tissue culture.
Like our guest from DGC Labs, or what was it?
No, that is what is it again?
DGC Labs.
Apothecary extracts. There he goes.
But so part of March Madness is we've got compound genetics, and these are the entire lineup, not just specific strains. So all of compound genetics, all of Motor Rebel, all of Oni seeds, and all of Unity are 25% off. So that's huge.
Is that the Dunn discount?
No, Dunn has his own deal. That's the Dunn deal.
Well, the Dunn deal.
It's a 10% discount, yeah. But we got Thug Pug, Unknown Prophet, Mycotech, Keep Sweat, Riot Seeds, and Snow High, all at 20% off. That's the entire lineup of Relentless, Swamp Boys, Dominion, Canorado, and Crockett, all at 15% off. And Lucky Dog at 10% off. Ethos, buy 2-pack, just get a free pack of distributor's choice. So it's pretty good. I've seen some Canorado packs on there for like $67.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds
It's a
good.
done
Sounds
deal.
good. It's a done deal.
Keep Sweat.
It's a
That's
done
awesome.
deal.
Keith Sweat?
Yeah, isn't it?
I missed that one the first time.
It's a friend of Chris Pistachios, OG Cushman.
That's good stuff.
And I met him at and I met him at Emerald Cup, and he was like, "Keep Sweat," and I was like, "Give me the seeds. I don't care. Give me the seeds. I love the names." So,
Yeah, I remember. I remember. I saw the T-shirt.
Is that Kyle Cushman?
No,
Oh.
no.
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 So, and what else is going on in the Seeds Here Now world? How come your mic is so good today? What's going on? You're not breaking up or falling away?
I don't know.
He's on somebody else's
Talking on
phone.
the phone, actually.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Something. You're not like.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Normally it's like.
It'll break now.
Well, maybe it's never been my problem. It's always been your problem.
No.
Because production is tight today.
Physically impossible.
Shout out to MTI for the visuals are good, the cameras are good, the audio is good.
Thank you, sir.
So I know that.
Don't get all excited because it's Mercury retrograde and you're going to curse the fuck out of us.
There's still
right
time left in the show.
We
time.
will destroy the show. The show will definitely go off the air at any time now. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Somehow that computer.
Well, sure, but
before I forget, we have to shout out our newest sponsor before we even get into our jibber jabber.
Uh-oh, I think you confused your friend there.
Who's that?
No, I'm good. I'm just.
No, we have Illuminar is now on board. Welcome to the Adam Dunn world, Illuminar. No, it's going to be great to have them on board because they are going big now at all the shows, and it's good to have people at the doing the work that we need, which is getting good lights to people. And they have the new L7, which is sick. They have this new single bar LED, which looks nice, like for
Nice.
for greenhouses and stuff like that. It's got a real good throw, so you can.
LED's the future.
I mean, you're gonna have to go there. It's like we
We could have a
But
discussion.
they're not all
on
LED,
it,
they're not all LEDs. They have double ended and they have it all. They have the full line, so it's nice. They have it, and I think right now it is good for veg and it is good for small production in a sense. But we're still, while we can still do it, let's just fucking use those double endeds and get the old ones are definitely out of date, dude. Like the old school, like I've still got a few, but.
I think you're going to see California lead the way. They're going to pass some legislation that says no more HID, and then you're going to see a revolution in LED technology.
Yeah, well, it's already there. I mean, they're definitely.
Well, Boston's already done it. Boston's put a limit on how many watts per square foot you can have.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, Massachusetts. I think it's 35. One of my guys over there has been trying to redesign all this stuff because they could foresee the power bills that they would have, so they limited everybody. I think it's 35 watts per square foot, something like that. But yeah, Massachusetts is currently dealing with that.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, it's definitely. It's funny because about 10 years ago, I was saying, man, if it ever got legal, like Japanese would figure shit out to the point where it would be like, what are you guys even thinking? You know what I mean? So, but apparently,
Super efficient, high efficiency, really good lamps.
Well, we're starting to get there. They're starting to figure it out. I mean, they've already got some great. It's crazy how the CMHs are, and like, I think they're. I mean, I've seen other people not have success with them, for some reason, but I had good results. It just was, you had to grow differently a little bit. It's like they're. They're just different little plants. They're a little bit smaller, a little bit greener. You have to like treat them a little different.
Yeah, but it's the economics of the game, and at the end of the day, somebody who can produce quality cannabis with an LED is going to produce for less than somebody growing with an HID because your power bill is that much cheaper. That's important. Save the environment. They'd agree.
But it all comes down to the genetics. That's even more important, right, James?
All about the genetics. Somebody can copy your building. They can copy your customer service. They can offer hand jobs and blow jobs and way in and way out.
Well, it's a family show. Family show.
No, it is not.
That's what they can't copy. Unless you give them a cut, they can't. They don't have your genetics. So.
Here you go. Here's some good genetics right here.
No, it's good. And so who we got coming up on the show in the next couple weeks? Anybody? Anybody lined up?
Who you want? You know me.
Well,
who would you like?
Wow.
DJ Short just has a new release as well. It's one of his Happy Pussy crosses. I forget. Getting stoned.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
Happy Pussy cross. Come on.
Well, he almost released the Happy Pussy. And I was like, don't release the Happy Pussy. Come on. Like, we can't. I have to sell this. And it's like 2 when he re-released Taint. I mean, sure, that's fun and all, but like, as a sales guy, as I'm sitting there at the table and somebody's coming up and they're like, what's a good CBD strain? You know, you don't want to be like, here, how's Taint? So,
but did he have straight taint or did he have
hairy taint?
No, he had straight taint.
Charlotte's taint. I thought he had Charlotte's taint.
Well, the problem with it is
Jack Harabite taint.
Charlotte's grandma. That's the problem. Is taint is Charlotte's grandma, and so it's like oh man, like that's even embarrassing. Like why did you have to do that? But thankfully, Sonny Chiba talked him out of it and talked some sense into him, and now it's Tainted Love. So,
so much better.
Yes, if you have the old packs that say taint, they're different. And
are those worth a lot of money? Are those worth a lot of money? Huh? Are those worth money? Would you buy them back?
Oh, it was always worth money.
You gonna buy back the taint?
Original taint? Would you buy them?
OG taint?
Yeah, you want the OG taint.
Crack taint. Green crack taint. Charlotte's Web by Green Crack by Taint.
Definitely the feminized taint. But not with the other.
So yeah, you were.
But the DJ Short line is Velvet. That's what's coming out. It's across the Blueberry F4 male, mostly indica hybrid with minor phenotypical sativa variation. So old world genetics stuff. There's a limited amount of packs out. I think he said there's only 320 packs he's putting out. So
gotcha.
You definitely want to go get on those.
Nice.
Yep.
So I gotta get.
So let's talk.
What's that?
And, that's what's been ruining my world recently is just all these strokers that want to talk about hemp seed, and then it's a cat and mouse game. It's expensive.
Hell of a segue.
It's expensive.
Hell of a segue.
I was wondering when we could talk about CBD and this whole broker joker bullshit going on right now, and everything about hey, I'll send you a COA, show you what I have. Well, just Google COA isolate and CBD. And there's about 200 COA images you can just grab, say they're your own.
Right.
And it's so ridiculous. This industry needs some transparency. We need a way of making everything relative to each other so we can understand what we're actually transacting. And, come on, is it even legal to transact CBD right now, right? One person says yes, one person says no.
It's completely legal right now. As far as I know, the Farm Bill covers everything. And the seeds, of course, if the plant is legal, then the seeds, therefore, should be legal as well. But my guy that we've been working with under the Patch Adams brand has the fractal boxes, the glass slipper, whatnot. We've been with him. He's been with us for 3 years. And so the nice thing with him is I've got 3 years of COAs on him. So and he's in Maine. So they're on his ass, trying to catch him, I'm sure. And so he always with everything run out for the last 3 years. And that's the guy who's doing he's got feminized hemp seeds that'll be ready for delivery in April with it says a 15 to 18% return. But
and what you try to sell them on the air?
But the feminized, but it's that fem stock, and people want like $1 a bean for it.
Yeah, I know it's
80 cents.
Hey, over here.
80 cents. I know
70,
people. I know people.
Hey, I'll get somebody.
We know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how it's definitely going to be. There's a bubble all over everywhere, but the problem is that again, no one's. It's almost like I'm like the Paul Revere or something, and I'm like, the processing. You have to do the processing. Who's going to do this? There's nobody. Nobody's really figuring out what to do. I mean, only CBD. Like CBD has a home, but that's about it. And everything else has no home. So there's like pretty much like guys with after they're done running it through the fucking machines, and then they have them back out and just sitting out there and nowhere to go. You know what I mean? There's nobody thinking about maybe we could take all this alcohol-rich product,
make ethanol. We can do a lot of things with the biomass.
Yeah, or even just pelletize it or something. You know what I mean? Like throw out a big giant industrial pelletizer, and all of a sudden, burn those things and see what all of a sudden. Oh shit! they burn pretty good. They have like a little trace amounts of alcohol left in them after they've been squished up.
There should be nothing left of this plant when we're done extracting it and using it for everything that it can be done with it. I mean, paper, fuel, fiber, everything. I mean, I don't need to explain to the 23 people listening about that. But something I wanted to bring up. I'm reading an article that's being run in all the different hemp rags and all the different MJ Biz Times and all that, and they're saying hemp is going to be a $22 billion industry by 2020.
Sure.
Yeah, but do the math on that. At the money they're talking about, there could be overproduction at 10x in the next 7 months.
Are you talking about CBD part?
Well, they're saying that if $22 billion worked backwards, if you work the math, like what do you have to grow to be worth 22 billion retail? You pick that there's going to be 30 states that have hemp programs right now.
Is that James?
I think he will win.
Uh-oh, you didn't like what I was saying?
He laughed.
Out of the 30 states that have a hemp program right now,
he's incorrect.
less than 3.
Bye, James.
Bye, James. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, just
It's all right.
get something to do, I'm sure.
I don't know. He didn't like my topic.
He didn't like. No, he doesn't like. He doesn't like. It's fighting.
Uh-oh.
You're in trouble.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
No,
look out.
no.
I drive a Toyota Prius. It's green, so.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. We knew he was a tough guy. Yeah. So
what I'm thinking is there's way too much farmland deployed to hemp right now, and I think we have to be really careful about overproduction because we want this to be an industry that grows and gets commoditized. And if a bunch of people lose their shirt because they grew too much hemp and they can't sell it, that's a problem, right? I think there's a bottleneck at drying and curing and at processing.
For sure.
And I just don't think people are realizing it. They're like, I'm going to grow a bunch of hemp, and then what am I going to do? Of course, that guy's going to drive down my road, and he's going to just offer me money for my hemp. I won't have to actually try to sell it,
right?
And I think these are things that people haven't thought through right now. And
well, that was obvious right out of the gate. That was like what I saw even in Holland when I worked for Sensi. They had just opened up in Oudepekela, and they had 900 hectares that they grew, which is a lot. And if you think about it now, that's like 1,800 acres.
A little more than that, right?
Yeah, like 2,000 acres, something like that. So that's big. And so they ended up just like most of it rotted in the field. They didn't know what to do with it. They were like,
I'm hearing that's what happened in Oregon a lot this year too. That it got really moist. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't dry it or cure it, and nobody knew how to process it. And that was it.
Molded out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any investors out there want to invest in a couple of older guys' ideas on drying hemp, they're sitting right at the table right here. We have business plans for you. Just kidding.
There is a bottleneck and all that kind of stuff as far as even with almost every production I've seen, nobody really has big plans except for the making extract. If you're making extract, which is about 90, is right now 99% of the people I know pretty much, because everybody's doing that. There's a few, I'd say maybe 95, because there's a few people fucking around with other things, but it should only, as it is, it should only be a byproduct of the work, so like you should just have like, you're trying to pull THC or CBD or whatever cannabinoid you're pulling out, but then you're throwing away all this biomass that's kind of weird, that, and then all the sticks and all the, the combination of the roots, and you could create massive amounts. But like in Holland, they make, or in Colorado, they make you
Destroy it, right?
everything.
Yeah.
So stupid.
It could be biofuel. It could be biodiesel. I mean, you could have somebody come around and collect it just like they do the cooking oil and make fuel out of it. But we have, the joke was, right, for years, we're not the most regulated industry. We're the most over-regulated industry. So if there's a regulation to make this more difficult to be in, our government will figure out a way to do it.
So you were doing real estate before, right? That's
No.
kind of, or like buying buildings or something.
Well, I started in the energy industry, but when I first got into Canna, it was aligning with a company that started doing what they did. What they did before is they understood commercial real estate, and they understood that was going to be an absolute primary need of the industry.
Gotcha.
So they started buying up buildings, and luckily they formed the right partnerships, right? Your tenant is kind of your partner in business. They're paying rent, and you're making sure things run for them. And, you know, we were able to do business with Medicine Man and Dixie, and we had a Strainwise property at one point in time, and properties in Washington and Oregon, and
so you were seeing all these facilities where people were dumping money and sometimes working and many times not. Or
well, we hoped we had a good plan, and the good plan was to always find good tenants. And if you found good tenants that could pay their rent and had strong business plans, then it worked. There was a common theme amongst the tenants that worked with us, that they were business people who aligned with smart cannabis people. Instead of the cannabis guy whose skill set beforehand, as we know, was not letting anybody know they knew how to grow cannabis in secret. And so they were sort of balanced different. And when businesses came in that were a good balance of business in Canada, they succeeded.
Yeah, and it is pretty obvious. You know, when you go into these places, who's going to make it and who's not pretty fast. You know, doesn't take a rocket science. Sometimes you're like, okay, and occasionally they hang in there and dump a bunch of money in and whatever, and you're like,
it's a common theme.
Like, wow, how much? Like $7 million into this little tiny place.
$7 million.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
You are absolutely correct, but there are so many smart ones who have survived because what the industry's approaching 10 years.
Yeah,
and they're going to hit that mark, and the people who have staying power are here. And you know, we like to say what cannabis moves like 10 times the speed, so it's like more than a dog.
Yeah,
it's really fast.
It is. Like I was saying, people who are in the industry are all aged and you know, getting.
But I remember you without a beard, though. So you know.
Oh wow. As a baby.
No, I don't know, baby. I don't think you were
I've
ever a
ever
baby.
seen a picture of you without a beard.
What?
I don't think I have.
Come on now.
Somebody get the razor.
Come on now. That's strange because I thought I would have shaved it at least once while you were working for us.
It's been about 2 years now, actually. I joined on in February, like 2 years ago. So yeah. But no, you haven't shaved at all since.
It was before that.
Not even once.
No, that's more than 2 years of growth right there.
Yeah. Terrible. I was actually putting on like suits the other day, and I was all like, "Oh my god, look at this beard!" I have to go like.
You look in that beard. There's still a pass from MJ BizCon from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
There it is.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, it was looking pretty ridiculous when I was in the dressing room. I was like, I couldn't even see the things. I was like, yeah, because they get the 3-way. Yeah, now you're in like the 3-way magnified mirror or something. You're like.
I can't believe you're gonna wear that when you travel internationally. Don't you get stopped?
Wear that?
Yeah, I mean, don't you get trim that thing up a little bit?
Yeah, I have a haircut tomorrow. So I'm at my Burley. So
Same here.
Tomorrow, yeah, freshen up.
Yeah, I'm gonna freshen up.
Oh
I'm
shit!
gonna get all tight.
So let's talk about Spain. Why we have a Spanish flag behind us?
Yeah, this is awesome.
Because we have
Spannabis
coming up. Spannabis.
Getting really stoked, man. That's my first trip.
It's my first time going.
Me too.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
I've never been to Barcelona before.
What?
I've never been to the other side of the world, man.
Oh my god.
No.
I think the furthest away from America I've been is Jamaica.
No, I haven't been there. I've been to Amsterdam. I've been to London. I did Grateful Dead tour back in 1990. But when you're on tour, you're not really seeing where you are. You know, you see where the venue is, and that was it. And it was they did that tour like it was a Dead tour. It was move, city to city to city.
Cool, man.
Dead tours. That's
what year is that?
Tell us
1990. I was 20.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Wow, bro. 90s.
Yeah.
Well, come on. That
I
ain't
was
nothing.
I was like in 3rd grade.
That ain't
Shut
nothing.
up. Clinton was president, I believe. Yeah, he had cracked down on cannabis. Remember?
I was already in Holland. I was working for Sensi then.
Oh, you were very lucky because in 1990 they called it the drought of 90.
I know.
In 91 they had stickers that said "I survived the drought of 90."
That's so funny.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I left in '89. So
Shout out to Nancy Reagan. You know, you're a great person, but you should have just stayed away from trying to make us illegal.
Right.
So
So Spain,
yes,
Spannabis.
So I have Peter Papadopoulos possibly calling in. He got all sad. He thought sad. He got time zones obviously wrong. So I just texted him and told him to call in. So hopefully he will.
Cool.
And
we're ready for him.
What a first world problem that you get the time zone wrong.
Well, he's there and he's in Barcelona. So he's
Oh, nice.
Oh, sweet.
He's doing the Terp Tower Invitational. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I was looking on Treasur's. They have their
Entry?
Instagram story, and they had the Terp Tower, and then they had the Legends of Hashish event too.
Where is that?
I don't know.
That's at Tresor. That's our other Pete.
Oh, they're gonna do it there.
We're gonna have trying to get the 2 Pete's on. Before.
Nice. Okay, cool. I don't know if I'm saying things that shouldn't be said. So
No, you can say. Well, I think the Legends. I don't know. Maybe Legends is not gonna happen.
You know, maybe it would be a good thing if anybody is of the 23 people listening right now are going to Spannabis and you wanted to know that cannabis is sort of semi-decrimmed right there. So they sort of pay a blind eye to it as long as you are patronizing one of the cannabis clubs there. And you really have to know someone who's already a member to get invited. And a good way to do that is to get onto social media right now. Start reaching out to some of them just in case you wind up walking past. You're like, oh my gosh, I know I sent them a little note, and you walk in and you'll have access to what they're selling because you can't just walk in.
how many cannabis clubs are in Spain? Like
Clubs? Not sure now.
I was just
There's
wondering.
Lots.
I saw over 30 just in
Wow,
the general
really?
area there, and we're doing.
In all of Spain, there's shitloads, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely in Barcelona, there's
Gotcha.
at least 30 or more.
Oh wow, I didn't know it was like that. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like taking over Amsterdam as far as that whole culture because
Gotcha.
it's actually, and they do it a little bit better even because when you go in, it's a little more. They try to make it like but you do have to join, and then it's a little bit more like weird sometimes. So you go, it's not as open as Amsterdam. You just roll in, roll out, roll in, roll out.
Sure.
There, it's like you kind of have to go through some hoops, and some places are a little weird. But not at Tresor. If you go to Tresor and you say you want the Dunn deal, you go in and they
Tresor.
You'll get free entry and free membership.
In Barcelona. Tresor, done deal.
Done deal.
Tresor.
Yeah.
All right.
Tresor.
Yep.
How do you say that in Spanish?
Tresor.
In English?
Tresor.
Okay, good.
I don't know, dude.
I've been using my Duolingo.
Do use that. But Tresor, and go to BCN, Tresor BCN if you want to go onto their Instagram.
Yep.
Are you speaking at Spannabis?
No.
No? You going as a tourist?
I'm just going with the show. I got MTI is coming with us.
Sweet.
I got KTI coming with us. I got Josh coming with us. I got CC and me, so we're all going.
That's like 40% of the listeners right now.
It is. It is.
Sweet.
I'm taking 40% of the Adam Dunn Show listeners.
That is great.
That is a great number.
Well, I hope to see you there.
It would at least be a short bus. We would at least have a short bus.
I would volunteer to sit in and hold the Pinsky banner, right next to me, and as long as I don't get hit with anything you throw at it.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, we'll talk after the show. I got a few
Good.
questions.
I'm glad
questions. I have a few questions.
Good.
Yeah. Now that I know you're Jason.
Oh no.
Yeah, you may end up on the short end.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah, because there is a sort of like I could already start to see.
See, I was saying to myself,
some more fabilities here that I could get, that I could start.
It's a double-edged sword coming down here because I know they fuck with the people they love. So I'm like, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble after this, a lot of trouble. So what are we talking about? It's Barcelona and Spain and cannabis clubs, not about fucking with Dave after he leaves the show.
Either way.
Oh yeah, that we'll be doing also. But no, the clubs there are definitely on their probably 7th or 8th year as far as like sort of openness. It was like when I left.
Really?
When I left,
I had no
we had sort of like cooperation with the guys doing one of the first clubs, and it was called the Resin Club because it was resin seeds and TH seeds, and they had the TH in capital, small e, Resin Club. So it's TH like Resin Club. And anyway, we had that spot going on. We were like so excited. We were like, oh man, we're going to be one of the first. And of course, it was also the first one that got shut down because you're
You mean
trying,
a lighter?
Oh, lighter. Because you're trying things too quick, you know. So live and learn. First ones get the arrows in the back. You know what I mean? So it's like
Go slow. Pace yourself.
yeah, it was a little bit one of those situations. But the clubs themselves, yeah, they kept on growing.
And they don't get messed with like very much, or I was just wondering.
I mean, over time, I think they all had they get watched very much, and there's a lot of always it's about kids and
right.
Any kind of like guns or they're looking for always hard drugs, guns, kids, weird shit like that, and they're pretty hard. But at the same time, they had all sorts of. The one thing that was interesting about Spain that I always liked was like your house and in your private clubs and all those kind of places, you were like considered like really private. It wasn't like, our idea of privacy. It was like they didn't care what you did in there. Whatever you want to do in there, you do in there. But it was all about, that, and that was kind of like the interesting part. They didn't care how much money you had. They didn't care how much. They had the kind of a loose thing about. Anything behind those doors is yours. I was like, okay, I like that, But
Right on.
That was also 20 years ago, so who knows?
Is that the last time you're in Barcelona?
No, I was there 7 years. I was probably there about 7 years ago. So,
World traveler.
yeah, it's been a long time. I never go. This is gonna be interesting. I'll be in Barcelona for the 18th to the. Let's see. No, sorry, not the 18th. The 11th.
11th, yeah.
Or 12th.
Well,
actually.
12, really, yeah.
To the 18th, and then the 18th we're going to go over to Amsterdam for a couple of days, and then you're going to be in Amsterdam also.
I hope to be.
Okay, so then we're going to go see Steve together, and
Yeah.
we're going to get the photo.
We'll get the photo with Mr. Steve Hayes.
I'm excited to go to Amsterdam with you and all your history back there. So that's
It's going to be
cool.
ridiculous.
It's going to be crazy, I'm sure.
Because we also have a Cheeky Monday to go to there, which is a Monday drum and bass party that they've been doing, the longest standing drum and bass party in Amsterdam, and it's all our friends, and happens to have our friend is DJing, so it's like, oh, this is going to be already.
On the 18th?
Sounds awesome.
That's on the 18th, yeah.
Monday.
Yeah. Cheeky Monday. So those guys killed it. And they're having it in a really nice club, so it was perfect. It's like we get to go to like.
Can we say what club it is, or will all 23 people wind up crashing it?
No, the Milk Bag. It's like one of the biggest ones.
Love the Milk Bag. That's
Yeah.
what Jam in the Dam.
Of course, the Milk Bag's the best. Is like one of the best sound systems also too. So go there. You got a good party. And then I got KTI, MTI, and I got my friend Josh. And my friend Josh who does the video for us here normally if he's around. He's the guy who has a documentary called American Jungle, which is about the jungle scene here in America, which is what we were organizing over there. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's interesting. So I'm bringing them all. It's literally like the Griswolds. We're going to be going over there.
Thank you to all the sponsors for donating tens of dollars to the show so that they could all go to Spain.
It pretty much worked that way, and it was like one of those things where luckily we had a glitch in the matrix where the Incredibles guys were sending checks, but they were sending it to my old address, and I've been gone since like last July, and so I kept just like going, I don't know, something's up, it's kind of weird, and then I didn't think about it, and then all of a sudden I was like, hey guys, I kind of like whatever happened to these, and they noticed that none of them got cash, so I actually literally just got paid just enough to.
Thank you, Bob and Rick, and a shout out to iloveincredibles.com.
To cover most of
Mercury retrograde.
to cover the whole Mercury retrograde full of snargleness, Yeah, no, it was amazing. And then on top of that, it was like, it was a big floppity flip.
Flippity floppity floppity flip.
Yeah, it was a rough one, but we powered through it.
And are we flying coach?
Of course, we're flying coach. What do you think we're going to fly? First class?
I haven't flown anything other than that, ever.
It's not easy being me. I'm not flying first class, but I'm...
Your business special fucking leg room, whatever bullshit?
No, yeah, I think it's like economy plus something like that, but it's...
I have a crazy superpower. I'm able to sleep on a plane, man.
I hate you.
I'm crazy. And people do hate me. It's
I
weird.
hate you.
Like, I just go on, I get a window seat. Boom.
That's not
I do it all the
fair.
time. I do it all the time.
Ow.
Window seats, I can do it all the time. If I'm in the middle, I'm like, fuck.
No.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Sit in the middle.
Yeah. You get a window seat.
The friendship seat.
Sometimes don't get all fucking uppity over here, Mr. Southwest. You
No,
don't
it's
even know
not.
what you get.
It's not easy being me. Okay, I know it's not
Southwest
easy.
is like a
being me.
cattle car, bro. It's like you gotta get into these little lines, and then you gotta run for your seat and act like a fool. It's like no, run.
You know, they
You just
they treat some of their A-list preferred flyers pretty
I
well.
already know his scam. I know all his scams, so I'm not even gonna get into it. He's a
It's
kiss
not.
ass. He's a
It's
kiss
not a
ass.
scam.
He's a
It's
kiss ass.
treat people very nice
kiss-
and
he's a-
take advantage of every offer they give you to earn points.
Yeah, I got stuck on a few Southwest flights with him, I think.
Just a few.
And I was like, oh no.
Oh no, that
Not
fucking guy.
that
I run
guy.
a talk show and he might talk. Holy shit, how does that work out?
No, right now it's perfect. This is like I'm finally using you for what you're good for. Jibber jabber.
I'm good at that.
You are the jibber jabber king
good
over
at
here.
that. Give me
I'm
an
really
app.
good at it, but you actually we have some good conversations. So that is the point. And you also
I brought some pretty good weed today too. though.
and now that you got your face on a can, you're worthy. That was the whole point. And here's
Oh.
and here is
See, that's the first Pinsky joke I got right there.
what's that? The worthiness? Mm-hmm. Is that? I don't even know. If that's a
I
joke.
remember when he was on the show. It was so funny.
Huh?
You're kind of hitting a light glare.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go. Boom. Right there.
There, there it is for everyone to see. Oh, I can't. Oh, there you go. Boom. Now, much better. All right, so you got your face in a can.
I am
It's the
very
number. It's the
humbled. I
number.
love
It's
it.
the number one selling weed at the shop.
It is?
No, I'm making that up.
It might be, though.
You think so?
I don't know.
It was one of the best weeds they had, though. Obviously,
It's a good seller. It has nothing to do with my face and everything to do with the strain that it is, because it's two fantastic strains grown by a fantastic company. And you should try it. They're in Boulder,
oh, there's my paper.
they're on
thread, so
Mapleton.
now I can do some.
Across from the YMCA.
Where's Peter? All
Uh-oh.
right, so Peter Papadopoulos, we're calling.
I'm going to give another shameless plug to something. You better watch out. You better fill the space.
If you don't,
shameless plug coming.
Go for it, man.
LucidGreen.io. Go check them out. They are going to change the way you buy your cannabis and review your cannabis and train your bud tenders and make them understand how to teach you about cannabis. Just complete transparency in the industry.
That was it.
No, but I'd love to talk about Colombia if you want to talk about that, about why Colombia is going to be a place that's going to really change the way hemp is grown.
Well,
And
I mean, it's like right now, it's a little everywhere. It's like literally looking at countries, small countries like New Zealand that are about to blow up too. That are like perfect environment. Like you just start to see watch the video and I was like, ooh, that looks like a nice spot. And then I was like, ooh, that's all New Zealand. It's like you don't need that. I mean, you don't need that much of space comparatively to it's like no one's gonna. It's not like they're gonna be taking up hundreds of square miles or something like that, because that's just not going to happen. It's still going to be, people are still going to have to scale it up
Sure.
to in a reality sense. So it's just, it's kind of like, Colombia will be good. The only problem with Colombia is the trade sort of problems, because it's definitely still
I think they're
Colombia.
going to work it out, but I like the fact that hemp's going to replace sugar, and sugar's evil. So that's just a bonus.
No, that's awesome. It's literally healing the land everywhere. Like when you think about the hemp growing, I mean, there's always going to be bad processors who aren't, following the rules, and there's going to be so much bullshit. And the biggest problem right now is waste that we were talking about earlier, where you just don't have anywhere to do anything with anything. So you can end up with a lot of people making literally having a whole yard full of stems, you know what I mean, and then really nowhere to do anything. Somebody might chip them or do something like that, but then they still don't do nothing with them. And if you got somebody who came and gave you a certain amount per ton or whatever, and then actually would have a good starting material to begin with, because that's the thing. It's kind of like the worst.
Best in, best out.
Yeah.
Right. Good starting material. No, I agree with you. We have to start thinking of the hemp plant like a cow, right? When a cattle farmer harvests a cow, nothing goes to waste. everything has a purpose. There's a use for everything.
Sure.
We need to get all those.
It's the buffalo of the
Exactly.
There you go.
We need. I mean,
Plant world.
you've been making hemp clothing for a long time, but there are people out there that don't understand the plant. They don't understand where it comes from, and they just think CBD, CBD. There's cannabinoids are great, but paper, fuel, and fiber can revolutionize what we're talking about in this country.
It is like that. No, it's kind of like you see CBD. It's funny. Again, like I got in a cab today, and lady asked me, I said, oh, well, because I said I'm in the cannabis industry. She said, what do you think about CBD? And I was just like, well, and gave her. We had a nice conversation. It was like one of those things where it was, she kind of understood a little bit more in that 15-minute spiel I gave her, which was the obvious as far as like knowing her age and stuff. I kind of like zoned on more the elderly getting the most benefit out of it, and then she's like, oh yeah, my sister came out here, and then my mom came out here, and they all like had the best time just because they got to go to a dispensary and buy weed and be cool about it. And it's just like, I think again, that's like kind of the where you're going to see the most benefit for real, where it's not just because that's the problem. If you're all healthy and you're taking like CBD whatever, it doesn't really, unless you're seeking. Because I think if you have something that you're actually looking to work on, you might see a difference. But if you don't, then it's kind of like it is a placebo effect at that point. Because
but if it works for you, it works for you. And I've just met too many people that it's just changed their lives. It's you're a spouse of somebody who's sick, or you're the son of someone who's sick, or someone's mother. You try CBD. I mean, what we'll call it I don't want to call it a nutritional supplement. We'll call it a health body aid. Has no side effects. I mean, they have no side effects to CBD. So there's no downside to it. So try it. For some people, it might work. For some people, you're going to need the other lock, the other key, which is all the other cannabinoids.
Right.
I'm a big fan of believing in the entourage effect. I think that there's a reason why the plant grows the way it does, and take advantage of the whole plant. I mean, I know that we had to pull CBD out because that was really what became legal, right? And you can transact it across state lines now, but there is more to the plant than just CBD. I like to say that you're going to get doctors like Sue Sicily and Ethan Rosen into it, and they're going to discover CBD EFG, which is that's the cure. But back when we met, I predicted that by 2020, there would be non-psychoactive cannabinoids in major food, products that you go to the grocery store to buy. And I don't think we're that far away from it. I mean, Whole Foods is announcing they're getting into it, and all these water companies out there. And you're going to see, you might even see like a CBD-only Incredibles bar, on the shelves of some local store here, if they could ever figure out a way to get the licensing going.
So he said he's going to Skype in about 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Papadopoulos.
Sweet, dude.
Mr. Bob Papadopoulos.
We will be ready for him.
I wish he was Bob Papadopoulos.
Bob Papadopoulos.
Sounds way better.
It does?
Just because I could sing that song every time. Mr. Bob Papadopoulos. That'd be great.
Bob.
Oh, that'd be great. But he's doing the Terp Tower Invitational, which we're going to talk about that.
At Theropolis?
At the
what's it called?
What's it called? What are you talking about now? The Ramblas?
No, where did you say you're... Are
you talking about the place?
Where they're doing the international, the Terp thing?
I don't know. That's why we're having him on the show, because I don't have a fucking clue.
Uh-oh.
I just got to...
Better explain it before I confuse people even more.
Yes, that would be great. No, but we're going to be going there. You're actually going to be... I think MTI and KTI are going to have their room right at the Terp Tower.
Oh, nice. Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I think you're in... Or it's whatever is the official Terp Tower.
Oh, you got rooms at the Terp Tower. Shit. Holy moly.
And I got one too, and then I think, we'll see. We don't know. We have no idea. We're making it all up as we go along.
Game time decision.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like literally. I'm telling you, it's gonna be like a European vacation. That's gonna be fun.
Big Ben, Parliament.
No, we're not doing London. We're not doing
Big Ben, Parliament.
No, we're not doing that. We're not. We may have. I think we do stop over in London. We could go. Pretend we missed our flight.
You drive on the wrong side of the road there.
I know. That's fun. But no, that wasn't on our plan. Our plan is Barcelona. Yeah, that's it.
Was that the Tropicana?
That is Tropicana.
That was delicious.
This is the fire. You know, I just here's the. You want to put it up there? Oh, see,
Yeah, Tropicana tastes nice.
you see, you shouldn't have had the camera on me. I have the perfect face for radio.
I know. Well, we have double cameras on you now. So
Oh
it's even worse.
shit! Damn, that just means something bad's gonna happen soon.
So for sure.
Mercury retrograde.
Of course. So all these are grown in cocoa. You don't know what food they're using though.
I don't know the food they're using, but maybe if somebody's listening to the show, they could call in and say something, or I could text
your
my son and ask him.
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
I turned my phone off, so I don't know. Since I'm wearing these headphones, I can't tell. I might have tons of people saying, get your face away from the mic, you're too loud. And
I'm sure.
I got you covered over here.
I'm sure there's at least a couple hundred.
That's what I'm doing over here.
there needs to be like a little chin thing right here, so I just hit my chin.
Oh, there
and
you
then,
go. Chin rest.
Chin thing.
No, wait, that's bad. I didn't say that. Don't make a teabag joke.
Oh, no.
No. Oh, shit. Family show, Dave. Family show.
No. There's no.
Were we talking about Dead Tour, right, in 1990? How much fun it was.
Oh, there we go. Dead Tour.
Yeah,
Yep.
Dead Tour in 90. That was a ton of fun. 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I got on a plane and landed in Brussels. For all of you who know the song. Arrived in Amsterdam 4 hours later. And fell in love with that city. If I could figure out how to stay there at 20 years old, I would have.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that was a eye-opening experience. I remember.
There you go. I should have done it. Should have, could have, would have. That's exactly
You were there,
That's
right?
what I did.
Yeah, I know.
1989, I went there, and I said, that's it, I'm there. So I was there in 90.
So in 90, did you come to Homegrown Fantasy when Jack spoke?
I took Jack there.
Do you don't remember the joint I rolled? I rolled that big fat joint. I mean, it was literally the largest thing I'd ever seen outside of a Cheech and Chong movie.
Wow.
It was 6 Rizla double XLs linked together. I put a little sign down. I got there an hour before he was going to talk. It said, "Kick for a fatty for Jack." And everybody who walked past just started throwing it in. I can't believe that. That's.
I took him there. I took him from Sensi to there, and then he kind of got off. He had taken some.
He was tripping balls that
He
night.
took some mushrooms on the way over there,
Yeah.
and some acid, I think. So he was like, he was really high.
Hey.
And he went like totally off the rails. Like at one point, I was like, "Oh, dude!" I was sitting, looking at him, going like, kind of like, "Go back," And he's like, "Oh," and he started just getting all into this sex thing and got all weird, and it got like room got uncomfortable and kind of cold for a second. And I was like, maybe you should talk more about the hemp stuff. That was kind of people like that. And he was like,
I can't believe that was you. That's
more
so
hemp,
great.
less sex, please.
That's great. When he spoke in Eugene years later, and I reminded him of that talk, he's like, "I was so stoned that night. I think I ate mushrooms and way too much acid."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it on the walk over with me, and he offered me, and I was just kind of like, I took a nibble of a mushroom, and I didn't want to touch the acid because I didn't know at the time, that probably was good. But, at the same time, people offer you after that 3 in the afternoon, you're like, nah, maybe now. I'll take a mushroom, and I took a little nibble on it. I was like, it's all right, but it didn't really get that high. But
Sure.
I remember him being super high.
Yeah.
And he thought I was really high for some magic reason. I don't know,
Because he was tripping balls.
he was tripping balls hard, but it was it was funny. It was so that was in what
90.
Yeah, okay.
That was in,
it was
it
there.
would have been November. And, Homegrown Fantasy closed. I was looking forward to going back.
Yeah. That was my first spot. I even put that in my little bio. Like that was my first place that I went to that actually had their own weed, and it was all homegrown, real, because it was Homegrown Fantasy. It wasn't bullshit. And so if they had hash, it was made by themselves. It wasn't like any kind of import. And most of those coffee shops there, you go in, it was kind of standard. They had Thai and they had this and that. And it was like,
Same
for us,
weed.
we didn't want any of that shit, so we never smoked any of that. I only smoked good weed. And then at least Homegrown was kind of like you could kind of trust it. It wasn't as, they definitely weren't hyping anything hard, and they weren't put trim.
But the menu they had was fantastic. How it had a little baggie, a picture of the plant, a description of the plant, whether it was soil, hydro, whatever they were doing, and it was they
were definitely the best shop in town at that
Best
point.
shop.
I thought.
I agree. I like what is it? I can't remember. I'm going to say it out loud, and you're going to know, because I remembered I had said it to you once before, and you were like, oh, no, don't go there. So I don't know if I want to say it out loud now, because I'm going to get ripped on the air.
Oh, no, some great
No, I won't say the place. I first sampled the Chocolope strain there and really enjoyed it. The DNA genetics grew.
Oh, what are you talking about? Like the gray area? No,
I was at the gray area.
I love the gray area.
Me too. John Foster, hi. I hope to see you next week.
I have no problems. I just said that back in the day, it was just, there's a lot of history there. So, yeah.
No, you told me where to go this time. What's it called now? No, I can't remember it.
Katsu. Of course.
I'll be there.
John and Harry, I hit him up with a message today. He said, I'll be there.
Is there a done deal at Katsu?
No, officially, I don't think so.
Well, why isn't your guy negotiating the done deal at Katsu?
No. Dutch are tight.
I don't like paying full price for anything.
Dutch are tight.
What's up with the 45 euro a gram of hash there?
Everywhere.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. I started all that.
Why'd you do that?
Because I wanted to drive the price up, make everybody pay.
That's ridiculous.
No, I did not start that.
I want the Adam Dunn deal hookup when I get to Amsterdam, so I don't have to buy retail.
There may be. You never know.
You know anybody there?
Nobody.
Okay.
I know nobody.
Steve, help me.
Exactly. You'll need some help. But no, it is crazy the price swap that's going on. Like, it used to be way more expensive in America, and now all of a sudden you go to Europe and you're like, holy shit, it's more expensive here than it is there.
In 90, it was like 12 guilders for an eighth, which was $4. That was fantastic. I enjoyed that. I'm going to go back to those days.
And I enjoyed that. See, and then the problem is that at that moment in time, I was growing weed, so it sucked. So I was feeling the pinch right out of the gate, and then it never went in my favor. That's why I was like pissed off. So I came back here. It was kind of like the same thing. I was like watching it just drop. And you're like, oh really? Now it's gonna be worthless here too. Oh well, do the same amount of work and get paid the same amount, which has never been on my side. So
I just want to go on a hash tour while I'm there. I don't need to smoke any flower. I want the hash that I haven't been able to get here in the States for years.
Right.
Like, what was it, a golden seal back in the 80s?
Yeah.
I missed that one. I'd like to try that again. You never forget that smell.
There's it's definitely the hub, and between that and Christiana, those are the best places you can go to.
I enjoyed Christiana in 90. That was a lot of fun. Is it the same as it was back then? Free state?
I think it's smaller than it was, but it's still the same. Yeah, there was a guy who had a hemp store there, who was a friend of ours, and he would come and buy a bunch of product off of us, and he was like a second generation, so he was born there. His, dad was born there. It was like, okay, you're definitely, and but like again, it's like several blocks now, and that's about it,
Damn. I remember walking in and seeing the guys. They had just the little table, chest high, and selling hash right there. How much do you want? 2 grams, and he'd take the hot knife, put it over the candle for a second, and then perfect 2 grams would come off.
Adam.
It's okay, man. Take care, Hunter. Thanks, man.
Take it easy.
Organic grower, friend of ours. Doing no-till, doing it right. So
tough to grow organic, all organic. Get a good competitive harvest. I'm glad he's doing it.
It is, but it's one of those things where it's like it's literally like pushing the rock up a hill for a little while, and then all of a sudden it kind of gets going, and it becomes way easier in a way. So like you create like a real good, good healthy environment, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, now it's just like feed that environment instead of feeding everything, and then all of a sudden it all starts to pan out where you're like, okay, now it's getting cheap.
It works.
Well, yeah, it gets super cheap because you're not thinking like every cycle you're gonna like analyze it in the sense of like I'm putting in this amount of this and getting out this. Is like actually you put it all in the front end, and now you've got the engine started, and now all of a sudden you got the right balance going, and you get a homeostasis, and you might have to add NOD and little things like that, but just create an activation and keeping it going, So
what was it?
It's like a coral reef at that point, you know what I mean? It's like alive. It's like a living organism.
Back in the 80s, I used to buy black gold, and you started to break it out with your hands just to get it going, and then you just set it and forget it, right? You didn't need to do anything for it its whole life.
Yeah, the simplicity of it all is also part of the deal, because it's like once you get it rocking and you're not thinking about like a system and having to like get drippers and it does free you up a lot in your mind when you're around the plants, because all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, this is way much more where it's at as far as like when you know the consumer and it's all coming full circle all the time. It's all you can stand behind it and stuff. So I mean, cocoa's good because it's clean and it's kind of like you got a kind of good eyeball for everything. But I think if you can pull it off, it just gives you that tiniest little nudge in the right, in a different direction. I think you maybe even pull more flavor out of these things.
No argument from me. I'd like to see some of the organic growers from Northern Humboldt back in the 80s that had that precursor to train wreck, that smell that you just don't see anymore. You don't smell it anymore. It's been so crossed out of it, but it was that musky. You knew it came from Humboldt. It was what they grew. I'm looking forward to somebody figuring out how to breed that again and bring it back. Right? It's what train wreck became.
Well, that's a real high terpenoline strain. So I mean, you never know what they. That's what. And then it's interesting because like when Jack came out, it kind of confused everybody and like lost a bunch of strains. Got lost, I think, along the way, because I think a lot of people just relied on smell and whatever, and it kind of like it's almost like a powdery mildew of flavors. It's just kind of
spreads. You're not supposed to say powdery mildew out loud. You whisper the ghost.
It spreads from like plant to plant, where you're just like, wait a minute, didn't this smell different before? And it's like, no, that kind of smells like Jack. And
Why does it smell like piss now?
Well, it's just that's just a certain smell. It
shouldn't smell like that.
It's not bad, and it's like it's actually good. It's better improvement compared to like average, Reggie kind of weed that was out there before that. But it's weird. It's just like it has this sort of like, like the Ohio G strains and stuff have that like real lemony, like almost like a pledge lemony kind of thing that's so permeating. It's like get a little tiny bit of that into your weed.
You ever understand that you forget more about the weed industry in one day than most people will ever know in their lifetime?
I forget much more than that.
Yeah, you're getting really cerebral now.
You get much more than that. But no, they have a certain real ability to fucking just saturate shit where you're like, fuck, I almost can't get away from it. So if you don't, like, if you've never had it before, you'll think it's the most interesting thing in the world. And then when you had it too much, you get like so overwhelmed with it. And if you're breeding with it, it's kind of like you be careful, because if you're breeding with it, it's almost like it taints your shit, bro.
Taint. Charlotte's wet by taint.
The taint. The
Charlotte's taint.
Yeah. Uh-oh. You love that? You love that.
I think that's so funny that you're actually calling. I can't believe there's a strain called green crack. I hate that. Maybe we should get rid of that. It should just be something else.
Everybody hates it, but I've heard everybody use it so much.
I don't like it. I'm old school.
MTI loves it. He's like, I love it. I love crack.
I went to a Don't Crack convention at Madison Square Garden's Felt Forum in 1984.
A what convention?
Don't Crack. Crack was huge in New York City, so Run DMC did a concert for high school kids.
Okay.
So you had like five kids from each high school.
And you were in high school?
I was just starting high school.
Wow.
Yep. And I went.
Yeah. And did you
Run
do crack? And
I didn't do any crack.
You immediately wanted to do crack after that.
I didn't do any crack.
Did anybody do any crack?
I'm sure there were a lot of people doing crack there.
I mean, like after the show, like, whoa, let's do some crack.
No? I don't think so. I think there were a lot of jokes about let's do some crack, but I don't think anybody ever held true to it.
Yeah, you weren't in the real crackiest school, I'm sure.
No.
They chose you because you were definitely not in the. I had the craziest thing in school when I was young. I was going to Pacific Palisades when I was like, I think I was in second grade or something like that. It was like, no, it had to be a little bit later. It's weird. I can't imagine it'd be second grade, but it was early on, like maybe fourth grade. Okay, maybe it was fourth grade.
Yeah, because I don't remember second grade.
Had to be fourth grade. Anyway, so I was going to Pacific Palisades, right? I moved there, and I was super stoked. I had a really nice house, And I was like, the school was really good. I got there first day, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great, right? Like, they were like super cushy. The food was good, you know. And I was like, this is I just came from the East Coast, right? I just came from Queens, which is like the worst, you know.
Don't talk about where I grew up like that. Come on,
the worst. I mean, especially back then, like.
I loved Queens. I didn't think anything ever existed outside of Queens.
No.
Main Street, 7 train, LIR, we had everything. We can go anywhere you want.
Our school was actually kind of rough. The one that I went to it was like 2 schools connected just by a chain link fence as far as the adults, the big kids and little kids, and I was obviously the littlest of the little kid, and they would shoot fucking like literally darts in fucking kids' necks and shit from there, like just making little fucking blowguns and stuff, and you couldn't go near the fence. Or you get like it was like that kind of a school. I was like, don't go near the fence. You get shot.
They tell stories about the fence.
No, I saw people getting shot in the neck. I was like, oh man, a kid got shot in the neck. So I was like, yeah, don't go near that fucking fence.
No, my junior high school was all by itself, surrounded by a big.
But that wasn't the problem. Anyway, so I moved to Pacific Palisades. I'm stoked. I'm like, this is the fucking best. And then on the second day, they go, all right, everybody, we're going to say some names and just stand over here, you know? And I'm like, oh. And my name gets called, and I get up, and I stand over there. And they're like, okay, you guys are going to get bused to Compton. I was like, what? And all of a sudden, I went to Compton for fucking the whole year. It was like half. I had to go there instead of our school for half the time. So I go to their school, and then they would come to our school, and then I would go back to our school. And so I only got like half the time.
You didn't get picked on at all. Yes, you did.
Oh, not really. Too bad. I was pretty. I was okay, but my other friends got fucking really picked on because they were like you. They would have gotten fucking
I'd get to. I'd be destroyed.
Yeah, you would have been.
That'd be the end of it.
I somehow squirmed my way. I looked like a little Mexican, so they couldn't kind of figure me out. They'd be like,
looking like this, you can't hide.
Kid, you speak English? Like, you know, that was just like I remember just being like frozen there. Though I was like, holy shit, dude, this fucking place is not the same as the Palisades.
No. I don't think I would have done.
And they were just like trying to make like so it was like literally one of the original busing like programs. You know what I mean? It was like, really, like what's this? Oh, it's a new thing. We just invented it. And I was just like, what? Like,
welcome to town.
Yeah. And now you get bused to Compton. And I was like, it was a 45-minute ride, and that was the part I liked is that we got 45 minutes in the morning and 45 minutes at night or night by the end of the day. So it was kind of like. They had to get us back at the right time, so we only had to do a short day at school, but it was like weird. I was like, yeah, it was just strange.
Crazy.
Yeah.
They had to take into account the ride on the bus and still get you back in time. I understand.
Yeah, it was 45 minutes, so it was kind of a waste of time for them, but it was like, yeah.
Integration, they need it. We all need it. I'm a one love. Everybody.
I mean, it was fine. I remember I had a couple good friends there and stuff, and it was cool, but it was definitely like tough for some of the other kids that went there and stuff, so. Yes,
high school wasn't easy for me, man. Look at this, okay? You look like this, you got it, you either make them laugh or they're going to want to beat you up. So I did.
So when you started smoking weed back then, obviously.
In 1988, Cannabis and I started dating, and we've been dating ever since. I think we got married once or twice, and I don't think we ever got divorced. It's a great plant. There's more uses than we know. I started baking brownies for people with ailments back in '94, actually. And I read a book on butter and how you could make fat lipid transfer, and I'd make this rolling boil of water filled with butter. I'd throw my weed in, and I'd let it roll, and then I'd strain the butter out, and I made little butter packets, turned them into brownies, gave them away for years.
Nice, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That was like during Brownie Mary times.
I don't know, it was 90s, you know.
Yeah, she was like 93 or something like that. I mean, you know, so.
Yeah, this was in Eugene, Oregon. It was a fun place to do your 20s and want to smoke weed. There was a local grower there. I think his name was Soma, and his weed was amazing before he went to. You know Soma, I guess. And in Amsterdam now, yeah. So he had a house, and he had his. There was a Glenna. She lived in the garage. Glenna was a friend of mine, and she just always had the greatest weed and never would tell me anything. And then one day she just said, "You know what? You know all this weed is grown inside in the house." It's a guy named Soma. His daughter lives there, and she had a daughter, and It was great for years. That's all. I smoked the greatest weed in the world. And one day, everybody was gone. And then I think a year later, I looked on like a Cannabis Cup video, and there I saw him walking across. I guess he made it to Amsterdam.
And you were like, aha.
I recognize that guy.
He made it. That was actually, was that the same video with Jack? The Jack video? Or was it? Because Jack's on that video too, I think.
He probably was, but it was just, I got so excited that I'm like, holy shit, I didn't wonder what happened to that guy.
Right.
I mean, it was
Yeah, well, I still keep in touch with all of them, the whole family members and stuff, so.
nice.
I'll give him your...
I don't think he would know me, but I knew Glenna.
Okay,
So,
well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That might, he'll be like, oh yeah. I'll actually be seeing someone. He'll be meeting him next week.
In Amsterdam.
Of course. Gotta swing by. You have to. It's like part of the deal. You have to go by his house.
I might have to tag along. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I might have to.
Yeah, I would imagine you would already know him already. So I'll drag you along. Don't worry.
I remember riding my bike up to the house, like I always do, because he rode your bike in Eugene, and something just didn't look right. You know, there was always somebody there. I mean, you didn't leave a house with a grow without someone. There was always someone there. It was a friend. Someone was there. No one is there. The front door is open. Glenda's door is open. And I ride up on my bike, and all of a sudden I look, and I hear chunk, chunk, 2 doors open, close, and 2 guys start walking towards me. I just rode off on my bike, and I didn't say a word, and that was that, and never looked back. And went to Saturday Market, and someone's like, man, did you hear? I'm like, hear what? Like, someone got arrested. Like, no way. They're like, yeah, they busted a grow, and shit like that happens. I'm like, fuck, that was the greatest weed in the world. Greatest weed in the world.
Yep.
And that was that. It sucks living in some place for so long and not really having to look around other than one source, and then all of a sudden realizing, holy shit, you got to get right back to the bottom of the freaking triangle and try to find someone. That was rough.
Yeah.
But it was Eugene, and Eugene was like one of the pot capitals of the world at the time, and driving to Northern California was not far.
Right.
Amazing times.
No, it's definitely like crazy to go there. I was just in Oregon recently, and it's its days are over as far as like pot growers, because there's nowhere to sell it. It's like,
but it's been that way for a long time.
Yeah, but now they're allowed to do it legally, so it's just like at least cannabis are just people are just crushing, as they usually do.
Yeah.
So it's like they outgrew themselves real fast. Like, so fast. So it's like one of those victims of their own success kind of deals. And, unless it's federally, once it goes federal, you can kind of see like they'll have a foothold. California will have a foothold. Some of the other states, I don't even know what be hardly worth doing almost because of the cost effectiveness of it all.
Eventually it will become commoditized. You're right. You're going to go to some exchange somewhere. You're going to see what the price is. I think there's a cannabis rag out right now, Cannabis Benchmarks, that does all spot pricing across the country.
Right.
I've been telling them they need a hemp index because hemp, I don't know where to find out what a hemp price is. You speak to somebody one day, they say this. You speak to somebody the next day, they say another thing. Somebody always claims they were involved in some mega transaction. I'm like, well, where are all these rich farmers? Where are all these? They must be huge, but they're just. Well,
it is frustrating when you see it because you're like kind of like realize how it doesn't make sense. But you're like, okay, so if you're talking about these numbers, even if it happened once, you would be able to, set up an office or something and be ready to roll and be professional about it instead of running around and like sleeping in your car or something. And I was like, how's that work? So
I have a partner. He says, Dave, I'm to the point right now where I hear all these stories. I say, why don't you just take me to that? Where's your villa? You grew 100 acres. 100 acres, you should be rolling in it right now. Where is it? And I don't know where they are.
Well, I mean, a lot of it's hung up in material just sitting in warehouses and not being processed fast enough because people are bottlenecked in all sorts of ways. I mean, there's like, because making crude is actually really hard. It's not easy. So it's like one of those things where people who are making crude have to go through a lot of steps just to get to that. And then all of a sudden there's more steps to get beyond that. And then the prices going all over the place as far as what's worth even doing, because you're like, well, why would I even do that if it's worth that? And, you know, there's a lot of that going on.
It's going to be a new career called hemp speculator, right? All they're going to do all the time is figure out what is it, isolate? Is it, you know, distillate? What do you need? You want to sell them already packaged in vapes? How are you going to do it? But that's it, hemp speculation.
Well, it's happening already. I mean, it's getting to that point where there's the production is getting into barrels and things are you're starting to see like, oh shit, it's barrels. Yeah, people are.
They're sending me videos of isolate in, you know, 55-gallon tubs.
Right.
You know, trying to say that it's pharmacological grade. I'm like, no, it isn't.
In a Walmart sort of plastic thing.
Sure. You know, tarp on the ground.
Yeah, that's real pharmacological.
No, I would love there to be some type of online marketplace where I don't need to conduct the transaction in cyberspace, but I'd love the ability to vet the buyer. If you're a buyer, vet the seller, read some transactions, have almost like some pre-check boxes. Like, I'm a vendor, I use escrow, so if you don't use escrow, and don't call me. That's the way I do things. If you don't have an attorney, I'm not doing business with you, because the transaction values require an attorney.
Right.
You know, little things. Testing, free of metals, 99.5 or better. You know, I'm seeing people want 99.8. You know, even better than that, they want CBG. They want CBN. You know, how do you know what a proper transaction price should be? And who can you trust? I mean, I spoke to a guy today that we were just laughing about doing that Google search about seeing all those certificates online. He's like, you know, we did a test once because we just wanted to believe this vendor was real. We wanted to believe. And a kilogram of sugar or salt showed up. You know, so this is smoke and mirrors. I need some transparency. I need some labs to step up to say they've figured out a way, you know, not to plug Lucid Green anymore, but having some sort of way of attaching some code to something. Because remember, it's a powder, a crystalline powder. How do we know? A paper explains it, but maybe if there were some type of container, a sealment that you can put a stamp on the, you know, the end. They do that for other products. Maybe it'll wind up in cannabinoids.
Maybe, and I mean, there'll be more. I mean, it is kind of crazy because we're getting it like classically out of like the shadows and into the light, and you get kind of like the polar opposite people, like some people are just grinding it out and making it work, and other people are overthinking it and getting nothing out of it. You know what I mean? I've looked at some places where you're like,
you're talking about me? You kidding me? I've overthought this way too much.
Well, there's a lot of like people who put labs together and just, you know, immediately fucking didn't think about the throughput, you know, properly. And so you're like, so how are you gonna do all this? You know what I mean? And it's not like, you know, a lot of times, but at the same time, there's also machines now that are coming together that are amazing. Like they're about, you know, spend like $3 to $5 million, but you make it all at once, and it's all on a skid, and it just pumps it right through, and you know, huge yield, like 20,000 pounds a day of biomass, and you're like, oh shit, like that's at a regular day, like 40,000 if you're like a slave driver, you know, just want to 24 hours a day. So.
Well, I know a company that wants to buy 40,000, so we should talk.
Let's do it. Hey, yo, we're doing it.
Just forget the 20 liter. We're going to go straight to 40,000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. No, it's just the quality of the workmanship has gone up so high because people that are in those industries already are looking at it from just a more, just that's what they do. So, great.
Everyone, who's canceling now?
Nobody. I'm trying to get
multitasking. You need somebody else. I can't fill the air. I'm going to talk about Lucid or a shameless plug.
Of course you can't. You can't even attempt more Lucid plugs. You've already done like 3 now.
How about my wife's cake shop, though?
Wife's cake shop? Does she do cannabis cakes?
She has done a cannabis cake, yeah.
And how
but it doesn't have any cannabis in it?
No, just looked like it.
No, it doesn't. It just looks like it. No, art to eat cakes. So ART, the number 2, eatcakes.com. There you go. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug number.
She'll make you guys a cake for a party.
That sounds good enough for me.
Well, Dunn cake.
We're all down with that.
Yeah.
When we get back from our trip.
Yeah.
We'll do a little like
Adam Dunn flag cake.
Well, we're gonna do we're gonna have Josh with us, who's gonna be videotaping everything. So,
Dude, that's so awesome.
even though we don't really do anything, so that's the funny part. We're like the boringest video that you've ever watched. Be like,
Okay, you can edit it.
It's all just
you can make it
us
look good, right?
Smoking pot.
Yeah. You're going to smoke pot there?
Oh, I think
Sweet.
so. Yeah, I think so.
Sweet. My wife did actually Andy Williams' wedding cake, owner of Medicine Man.
Okay.
Really big, right? No, don't talk about. Don't more shameless plugs.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! See, I just can't.
You think you are a
believe he's saying
NASCAR?
that.
You think you get your NASCAR jacket on
I think
right
I'm. You know, I have this idea.
He's that guy.
Wow.
He will call me in the middle of the night with his crazy ideas.
I do. I knee jerk. I have to. No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's not necessarily in the middle of the night because I don't know where you are at the time.
there
It's
You
you
just
the
call
middle of the
anytime
night for
and
you.
just be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it could be somewhere else.
But I've had some really good ideas. I mean, some of them have actually even started. Just I just haven't been there to complete them.
We did not hit that one. With
No,
fruition.
that one did not go out of the park. That was like, whoa, it's going out. It's going. Oh, damn,
Yeah,
that was a.
Yeah,
He's out.
We had a nice. We would have been already on round 2 now. And,
Right?
Yeah. So
We were at least we were ahead of the game.
yeah. No.
Oh well,
Oh well.
happens. Shit happens. Hemp happens.
Hemp happens, bro.
Uh-oh. Somebody's going to take that right now. Hemphappens.com just got bought.
You know, it happens all the time, dude. You just can listen to my show and hear 9 website creations.
1920 people right now are racing to Google, to GoDaddy to see if they can buy
Less than
it.
that right now.
Still
I think.
available.
It's still available. Sorry. Nobody raced at all. They
Shut
didn't
the
race.
fuck up, Donnie.
They raced terribly.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. You're out of your element.
Oh, no. I'm just wondering where Mr. Papadopoulos has gone to. He was on point, and I said, let's do this. He said 10 minutes, and that was Barcelona time. So you've never been to Barcelona. I'm pretty amazed at that.
No.
You've been to Amsterdam plenty of times, so.
Not plenty, no. I was there in 1990 for a little bit,
That's
and then
it?
only again in 2007 for Jam in the Dam.
Oh, Jamie, I was there too for that.
Dark Star Orchestra.
Yeah, I was there, and that's when I named the Dark Star. Dark Star it was in 2007, I think, because they were there and they were playing, and my friend was there, and we were like, "Just name it, we Dark Star, man." And I was like, "All right,"
Okay.
I did it for him.
All right, man.
But yeah, so there you go.
Did you see that question I texted you?
No,
Oh, okay.
What is-
KTI sent me a question from some guy.
so tell KTI what's up.
What's that?
What did KTI send the message? Said,
I don't know why he sent. Oh, he sent it to me because he thought that you would forget.
oh, good.
That's what it was.
That usually happens. That's so right. Him. He knows.
He's on his phone right now. He's just sent it to him.
What did it say? What's it say?
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Ask me as a question.
Has it clearanced? You haven't gone through legal yet?
Is it about me? Is it
Okay.
negative?
I don't know. I was
Is it
just
about
scanning
Adam's
it real
beard?
quick to kind of make sure.
Is it how horrible
think
I
your
am?
joke.
You're the worst show in the world.
Okay, cool.
Worst.
We are pretty bad, but
No, we were not. This is great.
Oh wait, I don't even know.
you can't figure it out.
No.
All you have to do is read it.
No.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Hi, Adam. Picked up a few packs zero gravity from an old distributor in the business.
Oh wow.
House on the male Afghan. Question on the Afghan male Afghan you used. Was this Afghani 1 or Mazari Afghan?
Mazar.
Mazar.
Yeah.
So I know this is the first time I'm on radio, but you should take the marbles out of your mouth. Just spit them out
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
usually I'm pretty good at
Spit 'em
reading.
out.
I don't
No,
know
he's
what happened.
way better. He's way better.
I'm usually pretty good.
He's beyond this. No, it's a Mazar male on that one.
Mazar.
Mazari Sharif. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one.
Wanted to add some notes before I pop these beans.
Yep.
And
so you get like more point. You usually get like kind of point. Everything's kind of a little more pointy, like smooth point. Like it doesn't just kind of go like that. It kind of tapers off.
okay.
Yeah, on the lead structure at least on that.
And then there was another question here. Any idea what the unknown indica was also from the HP1 and the Afghan 10s crossed with Ortega 15 NL1?
No idea. That doesn't even mine. That's got nothing.
Okay.
No.
Let's see. Found the answer to Nev's unknown strain, FYI.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's good.
And
Answered his
then
own question. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
so it's okay.
there's a little bit more. From your recollection, Adam, does
Yeah.
the zero gravity strain recombine at around 50% to more 1-to-1 CBD to THC plants?
On its own? No, I don't remember that at all. I mean, the thing is, zero gravity was and funny thing about zero gravity is my friend who gave me the gravity originally lost it, and I lost it, and then a listener of the show, who was an old friend of his, who still hung on to it and lived in Colorado, gave it to me, and then I got it back to him. So it was one of those full circle stories where I was like, got it back, but I only made the zero gravity on like a couple runs. I did like a few runs of it, and it was real limited. That's why it was kind of like it didn't. I still literally have like tens of thousands of packs of zero gravity empty that I can't fill. But but now I can because he has the gravity back. So it's like I was like, oh shit, nice. I can finally use those packs and recreate the zero gravity. But it was just kind of I think I did like 3 runs with it total.
Oh, okay.
So but we did quite a lot because it was really good. We liked it, and it was good yielder, and it was just kind of like that. It was also so that was from Neville too. The gravity that Andy got directly from Neville. So it was and that's one of those things he was working on, and so we really didn't get any kind of lineage on it, which kind of sucked. But it was good.
That's actually the next part. He says, Neville set me straight on the true genetic background. Do you want me to keep reading?
Yes, on the gravity.
The mom was an NL #1 crossed with hash plant, and the father was something called Northwest Afghan Giant.
Nice. So there you go. Now,
tasty.
That's beautiful because we got it back and we have the original cut, which is. So it's interesting. It's not. But it is kind of old and it's high. Like it was one of those really hard to roots. It's fucking nightmare. It's like the slowest rooting plant. But that's pretty cool to get that history because I only knew it as gravity and I knew that my friend Andy got it. But Andy also he was grabbing all sorts of shit at the time. So and he liked the name gravity. So he just slapped that on it and didn't even.
Nice.
I'm
hoping that there's an article I read in High Times about the collector who had all these different strains. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's a seed guy out there that has saved all these land races, and he doesn't want to tell anybody about it yet. And to get him into the hands of you guys, sit down for a little bit, and
of course he did.
Cross this, cross that. Well, where are they? Let's do it.
It's one of those things where I've moved so many times, and I've had fucking fires and all sorts of issues and stuff, and I've lost so many seeds along the way that it's sick. It's like. Literally sickening sometimes because you're like, like the whole fucking thing, though.
I had that.
And so for me, it's kind of, I just kind of keep working with whatever is the freshest and the kind of trying to keep it as front as I can instead of it. I don't have time, but I keep ending up with more and more seeds that I don't know to fucking I want to just. Once in a while, find people who'll do test them properly, but it's like there's, I want to see them in numbers. So I don't want to just do like 5. That doesn't really help me.
Sure. You got to be storing those at some seed bank, someplace in some freezing cold country.
My garage with the freezer, garage fridge. Yeah, it's No, but it is one of those things where you just like I had to go through them today, and I was like, "Damn, that's like so many things, so many projects to do now." So, and
you've been in the industry a long time, man.
Yeah. Well, it's been good. It's been one of those. It's been the easiest 25, 30. Well, I don't even 27 years, whatever. 27 years of my life, just kind of like boom, happens, and then now it is the weird part is to go to Amsterdam at 7. I haven't been back in 7 years, and they were doing so much construction there. They kind of finished it all, so I'm not going to recognize a lot of the Central State. Like a lot of this stuff's going to be all new, which is cool for me.
Sure.
And then these guys haven't seen it ever, so that's cool for them.
Nice.
But they'll be like, I'm just going to be a whiny old guy going.
Yeah, this didn't used to be like this.
I remember when this used to be able to ride your bike right here.
Steve already has that job. Don't even worry. You can't take that from him.
Oh, Hayes? No, of course.
He's the greatest.
Yeah, well, like I said, we'll be linking up with him. Where is Mr. Papadopoulos? Come on now.
Why don't you just call him?
I tried.
Uh-oh.
I tried.
He's not taking your call? What'd you do to him?
I'm just going to call, and he's going
to... How's that going to work? He's not on... He's not...
Well, he's going to call
He's going to call through the line. Oh, Adam, that's so low-tech.
You going to call me back? Call me back on the number I gave you.
That was funny.
We'll take all that out in final editing.
No, we don't edit the show.
Oh, no.
Show-
What?
No.
I mean, this is going to be. Wait.
it.
Oh no! Don't.
Yes,
Oh,
all of
yeah.
this is raw.
Damn.
We just raw dog it. We
shit.
raw dog everything.
Hey.
Adam Dunn, raw dog editing. Blah. No, yeah. So anyway, Peter figured out. Call a number. Hopefully he gets it, or he goes on Skype. Number. Skype. Yeah, dude. 720-310-8237. That is the number.
Give the number out to all the 23 listeners.
They know
How
it.
many are on there now?
720-310.
Don't say it out loud if it's not a lot.
8237. No, it is a lot. It's billion now. Billions.
68 billion.
68
Sweet!
billion. Yeah. As long as you stay right around the 68, 69, that's good. Anything
good
above
number.
55, we're good.
Good.
55 is like the standard crew.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's
Loyal
diehard.
listeners.
Die
Food
hard.
up.
And now we have like 7 extra cool people. Those are the new listeners.
I think I might have given the
We are
website
dedicated.
address out to some people.
Our crew is dedicated. That's
Yeah,
the
they
most
are.
important part. And they the thing about this show is it's like nuggets. You get little nuggets here and there. I throw them out. Guests throw them out.
Yeah.
There you go.
And all of a sudden you're like, holy shit! I just fucking heard something that was actually
I didn't know
cool,
that before.
Cool or maybe even informative. I don't really claim that, but
Yeah.
sometimes.
Was that Neville News a little nugget?
Neville Nugget.
Yeah.
Neville
Damn,
Nugget.
that was a nugget and a half for me though. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, there
that's
have to be
crazy.
sound effects to the show, so you go. It's time,
No.
dun dun dun, for a Neville Nugget.
No, that would that only happened once.
But no, but it could be a recurring
How
segment.
would we know about it though? We would have. That was actually.
Ask him to.
No, dude, we have to ask too
Come
much of
on.
our producer. They're now we're like all these other shows. You are the producers of the show. Send us your nuggets. Send me nuggets. So
Send us your nuggets.
Send me a nugget or two, so I can have like a show that actually has 3 nuggets instead of just 1.
I like 4 nuggets.
I would like 4 nuggets, please.
I would like 4 nuggets, please. I would pay you on Tuesday.
Yeah, that would be the problem. But no, in general, yeah, we're waiting on Mr. Papadopoulos to talk about the Terp Tower because that's where you're staying. I want to hear what and I'm staying, but I want to hear what the deal is if we're like in the mix or. I know. I already have. I mean, I can. I'm judging. I'm obviously judging, but
When is Terp Tower?
I think it starts on Thursday.
So that's the 14th.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I think so, or maybe the 15th. Who knows? We're gonna find out from Mr. Papadopoulos, Mr. Peter Papadopoulos.
Peter Papadopoulos.
Peter Papadopoulos.
Tell us about Terp Tower.
Tell us, Terp.
How tall is the Terp Tower?
It's huge, dude.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it made fully out of terps?
It's pure terps.
Pure terps? It's a tower of terps.
It's a pure terp. No, I don't
Well,
think-
see, we can make fun of your producer right now because he has something in his mouth and he can't respond back, but I would go, boop, 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 boop.
and now my phone died because I did.
You've been using it too much. Somebody get the man a power cord. Please, get the man a power cord.
No, he doesn't. I have it over there.
It's over there.
It's over there, bro. It's too far.
Can't make it.
It's too
Can't
far.
make it.
It's too far.
It's too far. He might have to turn a button before he can.
Well, yeah. What do
walk
you?
over
No,
there.
you're gonna tell me a story. Then tell us some other incredible story, and don't say.
I'm
Lucid.
not going to say lucid dreaming again.
All right.
No, I don't know any big fun stories, other than the fact that I can talk about 14er and Incredibles and the CBD market. What is that? Oh, that's a power battery. I can play Jeopardy music until you come back. Yeah. No, I can talk about how this industry has grown so much that right now there are 400 companies listed on the Canadian Stock Exchange. 400 companies. That is an amazing thing. I've never been left alone on the radio before. It's going to be really bad. They both walked away from their microphones. This is like fuck
trying
with
to
the
help him out,
fuck with the new guy who just came
I
on
think he
here
has
once.
We're good here.
Okay.
What was your last little nugget? I mean, obviously it was a nugget.
I think it was Tropicana.
Oh, no. Your last little nugget of knowledge, man.
The last little nugget of knowledge is be good to everyone.
I have a battery for you. You just need your cord for your phone.
Yeah.
You don't have your cord for your phone.
No, it's in the car.
And I
Love
don't have
each
any
other.
Apple products.
Boo,
I have a cord,
boo.
an Apple cord in the car.
Oh, everybody has Apple cords in the car. That's like the normal thing around here.
Not this guy.
Well, you know what? We're just gonna have to hope that Mr. Papadopoulos calls us and/or
Maybe his phone died too.
look up Peter Papadopoulos on Skype. Can you just find him?
See,
Can't
when-
have any.
What happened when you do these shows live? You can't press pause.
No, Never, no pause, no bathrooms allowed. Just gotta go power through
No
it.
bathrooms. Wasn't that a guy that used to do like the news back in the 30s? He used to drink a whole bunch of water.
He just piss on
And
it.
he'd get the news out as fast as he could, and as soon as he had to go, it was like, and he ran and he'd go to the bathroom after. That was his thing every time. I'm forgetting who his name is, but
That was
one of
his
the 23
thing?
listeners should call in and tell us who that is.
That was his thing. That was his shtick.
Yeah, this is the news, and all the news that fits the print, and
That's ridiculous.
yeah,
And that was his whole thing.
yeah.
Well, that's pretty lame.
Yeah, what can you do?
Hey.
He made money though.
He did.
It's more than I can say. I have great ideas, but somehow I can't figure out a way to monetize them. I got to figure that out. I got to hang out with you more.
No, you don't. That
You
doesn't help.
you know how to make
No,
bank
no.
in the industry.
No.
You're selling like 10 or 12 coats a year, I'm sure.
Don't even start. That's like way over the top, dude.
Uh-oh. How many hats?
That's like 12 times as much. That's 12 times as much as I've sold.
Great. And you sell hats
There's
and
three
shirts?
different Peter Papadopoulos.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to take a chance.
Uh-oh. No, we're definitely not the guy in the lab. I know that.
Oh no, not in the not this.
I don't know if I wouldn't it be something if I had Peter Papadopoulos in my phone?
You're telling me to look him up on Skype. That's what I was doing.
I was thinking he might have a Skype account. I don't know. Now that I've lost him on the phone,
Nope.
no. I already told him I'm done show, and I told him phone number. So I'll call
Maybe
him.
his phone died.
Nah, I don't know. Not sure. Maybe the phones don't work in Barcelona, bro.
Not at all.
Barcelona. But what time is it in Barcelona? It's 7 hours in front of us.
Who cares?
8. That's right. This is a perfect time for them.
This is when they get up.
Right.
This is when they go out. Come on now.
I heard they really start to go out at like midnight there. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
They do. They do.
That's how I used to do in my 20s.
Yeah, no, that's a long time ago.
We all did. We all did. So, what's your latest besides leeching off your kid and getting all his weed? What's your next big plan?
I got a project going south of the border. I'm hoping it works. We'll see. There's some great guys and some great minds behind it, and we're going to grow some hemp in Colombia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a place in mind?
We are in the Cali province,
Okay.
Cali region, with a very large sugar company, helping them add a fourth crop. So they've been growing sugar since the 1800s.
Right.
They did palm in 1990, coffee in 2009, and now they're going to do hemp. They have a fantastic crop share agreement. They sell futures to their farmers, so it's tons of family farmers that grow. They grab the future, they plant the crop, they let the parent company know when it's time to harvest. We come in, they harvest, and they pay the farmer. And they've been doing that for 100 years. So we're hoping we can take advantage of just some serious ag
Right.
talent and IP and grow some hemp, process some hemp. I think some others have the same idea. We can't be the first down there.
Here we go.
Uh-oh. Dave doesn't have to talk anymore.
Thank God.
I got to pee.
Yeah, go. You go.
No, I'm kidding.
Mr. Papadopoulos.
Hello?
Is that Mr. Peter Papadopoulos?
This is into Canada, from Canada,
Oh, no. Mr.
and
what's
not Home
going-
Depot yet.
Not at Home Depot?
I was there actually earlier.
Oh, shit. You should have called, bro. Not during the
It was-
show. Not during the show, though.
It was empty. Oh, not during the show. I thought you wanted it during the show, actually.
I do want to do the show. But when we
Oh,
were
you do want it during the show.
Of
It was really
course.
empty, and they all wear the orange aprons, I noticed. So if I'm going to go with a tie, should I try and pull something like that off? For now?
Yeah, of course. Always wear anything to confuse them. So you can get all the free deals and you can walk around and do whatever the fuck you want. Climb ladders, move machines and shit.
You can wear a red shirt and pretend to be an Apple genius.
But yeah, no, definitely go and exploit the Home Depot and give us a call every time you're there. That's the idea. I told you, you got to save up your time, go to Home Depot right during the show time, and just we'll go live and get you. And we'll do it by. And
Tell
we
us
do it
about
by
a new product that
and
you
we'll,
found there.
and we'll do it by Skype, of course.
Should it be like a busier Home Depot or not so busy Home Depot?
Oh, busiest.
Okay, because the one in my area is not so busy, so I need to get a better one, I think.
You need to
I got a nugget also. I was going to just drop.
Nice nuggets.
There's your fourth nugget.
I found out about this new insect pest management solution stuff. It's even organic.
Okay.
I have to try it out. I'm waiting for someone to ship it to me, but it's called Suffoil X. It's even like Omri listed and whatnot, but it treats like a little bit powdery mildew and then thrips and all that stuff, even spider mites. So it's kind of like the whole gamut, and it's got more or less no shelf life. I guess like 2 years if it's like you have to list it at something, I think, like I said. But yeah, and it's got really good value, like 10 milliliters per 1 liter. So it's not like you have to go through all this stuff like quick time or anything. So
sure, and it's organic based, you said, right? Or it's Omri.
Yeah, it's Suffoil X is the name, and I guess in some states even, at least as according to last year, it wasn't always available everywhere, even though it is organic and everything. But I'm having trouble getting in Canada for that reason. But I know in Oregon and other places, you can just easily get it at most places that have a lot of stuff.
Okay, that's a nugget.
Nugget.
Need the little sound effects. Sound effects, man.
Sound effects.
Nugget.
Nugget.
Yeah, that was good. Okay.
There's a wrap pasta here in Toronto too, in Kensington Market downtown, and it's a really good jerk chicken place. Great deal.
Cool. This is our Home Depot guy.
Yep.
In case you haven't picked up on that.
Oh, I got this.
And last thing before I get a note, but I guess last time I talked about the triploid plant that I have, it ended up being male, so I'm going to keep it around and probably use it for some breeding stuff, and hopefully it doesn't have like steropollen or whatnot, but maybe that'll kind of bring about some cool trades.
Well, it'll be easier to figure it out more on the, like, you can sort of sort of shotgun it onto all sorts of different females and try and see what it does. Whereas if it was the other way around, you'd be kind of like, okay, now what do I do? Like wait around until I get like 19 different males. It's going to be, you can go quicker down the line pretty much.
You have a stud.
Yeah, try it. If it's either a sterile stud or it's But yeah, the triploids they don't really, like I said, they don't always carry. I've had them where I got all excited about it and it just didn't really, had a male and a female, and I thought, oh, now I'm fucking going to go crazy, right? And it was just like, they kind of like grew really shitty little plants, but they didn't fully develop into kind of triploids or tetraploids or any other thing like that. They kind of just stayed like half-cocked, weird females, you know what I mean? You're really like, oh, these are ugly as fuck. So there was something mutated in there for sure, but not in a good way, Because mutations...
Well, even if the offspring doesn't have the triploid thing, it'd be kind of cool if, for whatever reason, like it brought about, like, I don't know, some reason, like a more stout kind of characteristic to it, because, like, the triploid is really short, for whatever reason.
Or that flat stem trait, which is kind of like annoying in one way, but at the same time, it seems like it's highly effective,
Sure. Oh, and I forgot to mention too, like the intro song for the I'm Dunn show is probably like the best intro song that I've listened to. So
best
got a great choice there, great mix.
Oh, thanks. That was literally like a rando mix when I was like, it just was what I was into at that moment in time, and it actually worked out really well. And I was like, oh yeah, a little ministry at the front end, and then a little bit of Suge Knight at the back side, and then it's gonna boop, and we'll do like that, and then I just did it, and it was just kind of funny. It wasn't
works.
There was no weather.
I'm not sure if it even like progressively got like built or something. Because I remember like 4 years ago, I think the intro part was longer, and then the Suge Knight part would kick in, and then I'm not sure if like Suge Knight part was always there, even if that was like later. Or
oh no, it was always there, but it was just kind of like, I think we may have done a slight tweak at one point, but because we may have lost the original file or something.
When I was looking back, I found one that was like weird and longer or something. Yeah,
maybe I could have been. Probably that was me.
Mitch corrupted it before he left.
If it was me and longer, it would have been terribly. Yeah, that's me. Probably. Yeah, that would be me. No,
Adam takes full credit for it.
And then later, when it became really good, that must have been somebody else. Yeah, that would make sense. But no, in general, it was funny just because, like I said, Ministry I love. The band, I've gone to see them live a bunch of times, and that intro's killer, but the music's too heavy after that point.
Right.
Once that starts, and then on the Suge Knight mix, it's like it was really interesting when I was down in St. Croix, because I was like, they all love the intro. The guys were like, I love the intro,
Nice.
Because they were like, because it goes away from driving them insane, because it would have just like been like, oh my God, what is this show? To like, oh, now I can groove
get
on
it.
that.
Yeah,
and
man.
so it worked out really well. Anyway, thanks for liking it, because that's, most.
I was thinking with the intro though, are we smoking the genetically modified ganja?
When we do dabs, sometimes if you're still, it's still not genetically modified, but if you're doing like if you're buying weed off of people you don't know and they're like in a big corporation and stuff, then we may be doing it. But
fuck.
So if I'm making a hybrid cross, I'm not like
hybrids are not genetic. It's not when it to become real genetic manipulation. You'll have to like change a gene or add or edit a gene in the long run, which is coming really soon.
The leaves will look like fish.
Well, there's CRISPR people out there loving it, and there's a whole bunch of that is going to be a whole new realm where, because the thing is you can
do it.
The minute you do it, you can patent it because you did some actual work to that thing. And so that's the problem. That's the problem with it, is a bunch of people are going to do it on the premise of just trying to get their stuff into some legal realm where they can say, yeah, well, it's mine because I added this gene to that plant. And so that's where we're going to be like at the next step, I believe, just because everyone's going to want to trademark shit,
I don't like those people.
No, of course.
Yeah. I don't want to see
those people. Those people don't shop at fucking Home Depot, do they?
No, I think they do. I think they own Home Depot.
They own it, that's for sure. Yeah. They're evil. Those are the evil ones, yeah.
Well, right on for calling in, man.
Thanks for calling in.
All right, cheers.
Take care, bro.
See you.
And no Peter Papadopoulos, Mr. Peter Papadopoulos.
But I will tell you, Home Depot does not fire you if you're a cannabis user anymore.
No, they sell grow lights, and they're getting more and more ballsy.
Yeah, because I rented something from them and had a good conversation with the guy, and he's like, I shop at 14 or 2. I'm like, sweet.
Nice.
Oh, shameless.
Yeah. Shameless plug. 14 or Holistics, everybody.
Good job. Good job.
You like that?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I don't really know the rules, so I'm making it up as I go.
The rules are there are no rules.
Yeah, I wish we could talk about Barcelona.
Oh, let's talk.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Food.
Me too.
Excellent food.
Excellent food.
Yeah.
Late night excellent food. Imagine that.
Ooh.
Well, I'm thinking don't change my sleep schedule. If I try not to.
Yeah, just go. It depends what time your flights are. Our flights are early in the morning, so.
Yeah, me too.
We're kind of like, we get there in the afternoon. It's early in the morning. Just rest and just don't try to fucking be like him and fall asleep in 5 seckends. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna eat as much fucking edibles as I can and then get on the plane and sleep.
Yeah. We'll send him to the smoking room. Well, no, but my understanding is that you don't clear customs until you get to wherever you're flying to. Or you guys are flying through London, you said. So you don't. I mean, if you're there, you just eat your edibles right before you get off the plane.
Yeah.
And you'd be really stoned through customs. Just be able to answer their questions.
I'm just going to be getting stoned all day until we go.
Of course, but it's a long flight.
Oh, I know.
Who are you guys flying?
No, I think we actually we don't clear customs. We clear customs in Amsterdam because we fly into we do an East Coast stop and then we go there. So we don't go in. We're on British Airways, I think.
Oh, really? Interesting. Mm-hmm. No, I have to stop someplace.
Go Miami. I think we go Miami on the way out.
On the way back.
Oh.
On the way out, it's straight to London from here.
Oh, is it London?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we do clear customs in London. Oh,
yeah.
Blimey.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah. So, if our flight gets delayed, then we'll be stuck there, and it'll be a whole new Griswold adventure.
No. Are you flying the same airline from London to Amsterdam?
Oh, I don't even know, dude.
Or Amsterdam to Barcelona?
I don't pay attention.
Are you going London straight to Barcelona?
Yes.
Yep.
How could you not pay attention? You got to pay attention to these things.
I paid $482 a ticket.
Oh, then you realize that you can't even take things in your pocket on the plane. You have to. They make you pull your pockets out to make sure you have nothing.
No.
Yeah, you can't have any luggage. You can't.
What's this guy talking about?
No. There's no extra. You get no weight allowance. In fact, they could ask you to lose 5 pounds before you board. Mm-hmm. There are treadmills on the side that you get to use.
Do a couple push-ups.
Yep.
I'm good.
Yeah. 400. Dude, you are sitting so in the back, in the middle, in the shitty seat that doesn't recline for 9 hours.
Whatever. We get there.
Do you think they'll recognize you and go, Mr. Dunn, come to first class?
I had to pay 6 people.
Well, technically, I think iloveincredibles.com paid for the 6 people.
Well, there you go.
iloveincredibles.com.
iloveincredibles.com. Yes.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Rick. Mm-hmm. Hi, Steven. Hi, Yvonne. Hello, everybody.
Luckily, I saved up my little brownie points at the right time. Perfect.
It is, right?
It was all...
You banked it.
Yeah, it was actually reverse Mercury retrograde.
Yeah, I was about to say.
There you go.
I just nipped it in the bud.
Must have been right before everything turned.
You hooked it. You hooked
Yeah,
it.
man.
Well, basically, Tresor, if they're not going to call... I mean, Tresor, the Terp Tower, if he's going to call in, that'd be great. But if he's not going to call in, we can still talk about it. Because it's basically like the second annual, I believe. He might even be on his third, but it's been in the same spot. Did a really good job last year. Got a lot of celebrities coming through, judging 3 different levels of product. And I think we were talking about collaborating and doing a little ADSI version of that would kind of show them how to run it in one day and not stretch it too far and not get through proper results,
Sure.
So we may do a little shadow version depending on if we have enough entries, because it's also like there's fucking invitationals on invitationals now, and everybody's like trying to get the same buck out of the same people, and like not even in money, but just in weed. And so a lot of those people over there are like, what? I can't enter more. I just entered in this and that. So it's like, I think we're just going to help out and
Fill the categories.
guide them, and instead, because they all want me to judge too. So it's like, okay, everyone else wants to judge these 9 different contests. It's going to be ridiculous. So it's like, just go and because I'm not going to add more fuel.
Yeah, but there is something to be said about the fun of being a judge for a cannabis event. That you've ascended into such a level where somebody actually really cares about what you think about that weed enough to give them a prize.
Right, but I can't do all of them. That's the problem.
Well, then you got people to join you. You're bringing the whole posse. It's not like they're going to have to handle the boom.
Yeah, they're all have to
Judge.
We work as a team. We work as one.
You woe team.
Yep.
Good. Good.
I'm in.
All right, there you go. You're now a judge. You have to be at Terp Tower at...
Well, we will be there on Monday. We're going to be there on Tuesday, actually.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday, 4 o'clock.
Oh, that's a good time. You're there a long time. That'll be a lot of fun.
Which one is this? This one was pretty flavorful.
I think you rolled magic, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was it.
Here, this is the truth.
Magic and
There's a
truth.
little DJC in it.
Yeah, like I said, they're going to have their contest there. They're going to be doing, obviously, everyone's doing little after parties and stuff. So it's definitely going to be a crazy weekend. It's one of those, or week for us, basically.
It's 3 days, right? Well, there's the ICBC is on Thursday the 14th if you're going down, but they charged a pretty penny for their ticket compared to Spannabis, which was €40. Oh, which if there are any people out there with extra tickets to Spannabis, some of us waited too long and they took the online feature down yesterday when you finally got around to buying your ticket and you couldn't buy it. So if you have an extra one out there, I'll take it from you. I'll buy it from you.
I knew you'd be pandering.
Could you do?
Perfect opportunity. Perfect.
I will buy the ticket from you with euros.
Maybe Pinsky will come and help you out.
Pinsky's not coming. I already asked him if he was.
No.
He's very focused on his brand and what he's got going on right now. Come on. I know you make fun of him, but you got to give him credit. He was the first person in movie TV in SAG to have his name on a card, the full card on the screen. Cannabis producer, Jason Pinsky. I mean, come on. Give him a little credit, and now you can rip him.
Yeah, whatever. It's okay. No, I had a hard time watching that show. That was one of those things where I just couldn't watch it. It was like, and now it's kind of gotten ridiculous.
I didn't watch it.
Did you see the new version? It's terrible. I think so. I mean, it's like they're trying to make it into like a contest now, and it's like, oh god,
You know, the interesting thing is, I wonder. I have trouble watching weed shows. I feel like I'm watching the fantasy of the life that I'm living, so I don't watch those shows. I wonder if like cops don't watch cop shows, and you're a lawyer, you don't watch L.A. Law, but I have no interest in watching any of these weed shows. I try them, and I just...
The last one I really freaked out on was Bong Appetit.
That's the same show we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Pay attention to the show.
Damn, man.
Okay, turn his mic off.
Yeah,
right. He's done.
His mic is off. He's done for the night. He's done. Put the dab rig down. I saw you looking through, and you had like 6 different choices of concentrate right there. I need to explain to you. This is Mr. Dunn's radio show. I mean, this is how he earns a living. I'm so sorry, Adam. And anybody out there right now should know that He does. Everybody smokes here, which is so fantastic.
Oh yeah, man.
Nobody smokes.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing.
Nobody.
No, I'll take that.
So,
I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
Concentrates.
I love concentrates.
please concentrate.
Just concentrate on some
Just
concentrates.
concentrate on those concentrates.
Shanti.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yeah, first time for you and first time for Josh in Amsterdam, and then KTI is like in London. He used to live there, so he's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to this strain of Magic. I'm very impressed with this.
It's tasty.
Yeah. You try that?
Sure.
Ooh, it's magic.
You know.
There you go.
Are you sure I don't want to fuck up anymore?
No.
I'm messing.
No, smoke the joint. Take the marbles out of your mouth.
I actually need a water. You want to grab me a water?
Yeah, I'll grab you water.
Grab me a couple of waters there, thanks.
That's not water, but I'll grab you one.
No, whatever. It doesn't matter.
So Barcelona, what's the deal during the day? We forget our coats, but I read you have to be careful about how you dress in public.
You have to be careful.
I mean, I'm a professional, man.
Wear that shirt, they're going to stab you.
I'm not. What are you talking about? They're going to stab me.
Oh, yeah.
My family is listening to this, and they're going to be worried about me.
We go to the Ramblers, they're going to be like, psst, psst, hey.
No, I made sure to stay away from the Ramblers because I heard it's very loud.
Yeah.
Very loud.
It's the Fremont Street of...
Could you imagine having a hotel on Fremont Street?
Oh, my God. I know, I saw that. Like, people were actually, had windows backed up against those things.
That's crazy.
I was like, those are rooms? That's nuts.
No, I would never want to. I had some friends that went last year, and they stayed on Los Ramblas, and they were like, listen, when you're going to book your hotel, stay away from this area. And they sent me a little graphic with the Ramblas crossed out.
Crossed out. See, well, it's literally like the staying at staying down in Times Square. It's like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? It's like there's rooms are terrible, and there's never, it is loud, and you are right on this fucking horrible thing. And
you're right.
So
you're right.
Just take a little step back, and you'll see that it's pretty obvious, right? So we are lost. We're lost. We have
Dave
lost.
is never invited back on the show. He has no idea how to fill dead space.
No, we have lost our Peter Papadopoulos along the way somewhere. We had the flag ready for him. We were ready to rock and roll.
Well, somebody didn't pay attention to the battery of their phone.
Well, he should have been done. I mean, that's it now. Now,
no excuse.
It's in the.
I wonder if he just can't call out or something. Or
I don't know.
Weird.
Mr. Peter Papadopoulos. This is his moment to shine, but it's okay. We're going to be live from there, and we're going to do. Like I said, we're going to have some weird times. We're just going to throw shows up, and we're not going to wait around.
No, man.
We're on the road.
We're on the road.
Yeah, we're going to be just.
You got to keep up.
Live stream.
Us.
Yeah.
Live stream. If you're not on the mailing list, get on it right now. So the 23 of you should mail at Adam at theadamdunnshow.com.
This is the Griswold Dunn.
Griswold Dunn Show.
Yeah, it's going to be the Griswold.
Clark.
Exactly. And it was funny because I went to a hotel the other day and I turned it on. And I was like, what? European vacation? Oh, yeah. There's only 10 minutes left, though. And I was like, damn, this is...
Here, I'm giving you... nobody else is listening to me right now. It's just you and I talking.
Sure, it is.
Okay, listen.
Pretty much.
I want you to get a bunch of those berets that they wore in the movie. The little one that says Adam on it. You just have them wear that. But don't give it to them till you get off the plane and you're like in Amsterdam or Barcelona and say, guys, here you go. And everyone has one of those little hats with their little name on it.
That's funny.
That'd be the coolest. It'd be a good photo op.
Sure.
But now take the cone of silence off of us so everybody else can hear the show.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Everyone heard it all. They all heard it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
No cones of silence around here, my friend.
Except for Peter Papadopoulos.
Exactly.
Yeah, very
phones of silence. That's the
phones of silence.
That's the phones of silence. Well, it's because he's very busy right now.
Yeah, I imagine
he's organizing a bunch of. Yeah, he said it was blowing up. So
it's 3 a.m, right?
Well, I told him already. I was like, we're definitely gonna. I think that it's better for instead of us coming and creating static and having more, adding more.
Yeah,
thing. We're just going to come there and help him out. We're going to make it all work.
Nice, dude.
Set up shop at Tresor, and we're going to set up shop over at his spot. And we're going to do both places and have little studios things going on.
It's 3:34 a.m. there.
Fuck, it's just getting up. It's just
party time.
Raging. Right now he's raging so hard. Can't even get to the case.
What's the name of the coffee shop or the cannabis club?
Tresor.
Tresor.
Yeah, like treasure, but Tresor.
Tresor. And mention the Dunn deal.
Dunn deal.
Dunn deal.
Say, I want the Dunn deal.
I want the Dunn deal, and they'll give you membership.
Yep, it's like €38 normally for the membership.
€38?
For the
How much?
membership.
What is that in Canadian? That's like 3,000 Canadian.
I don't know.
Oh
man, that's
Canadian
too
money
much
to spend.
3,000.
That's what I have anxiety about. I have major anxiety about that because I don't know math good.
You don't know math good? You know, how are you with the English language?
Not very good
I
either.
don't know math.
I think it's $1.13 right now, so it's almost equal.
Yeah, it's like 86. You get like, say, 86 cents or something per thing or something.
Oh, then it got worse. Then it was 88 the other day. Should have bought.
Right. So anyway,
Buy euros.
It's
.com.
It's gonna be weird because it's also like one of those things where it's gonna be so fucking expensive compared to what we're used to because fucking place is was ridiculous when I was there, and now it's even 10 times more ridiculous. So
Are you talking about weed prices?
I mean, I won't be buying weed.
Yeah. Everyone's going to give you weed. You're Adam Dunn.
Of course, that's the idea. That's the idea. You'll be
Awesome.
Are you taking the weed holder? Or are you the weed holder? Or is there somebody that has the title while you're there that holds Adam's weed so he doesn't have to get in trouble?
I barely even knew anything.
There's no
while we're down there.
There's what? He needs a weed holder. He needs somebody to roll his joints for him.
Hell no.
Yeah.
That's never
He rolls his own joints.
He rolls his
He
own
doesn't
joints.
like it when other people roll his joints.
No, they're terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. No, yours are all right.
Oh, shit.
He's talking smack, see?
I know he is.
It's all 23 of our viewers.
Oh, my God. I'm in trouble.
It worked.
I roll a good joint.
Okay, it worked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got no Peter. We got no two Peters. We had 2 bald Peters basically ready to call in. I had all these jokes lined up
Call
about.
Pinsky.
No, that would be Jason and Jason, and no, we can't do that.
Who's Jason and fuck you?
Yeah, we can't do that.
Fuck you.
None of that. So no, we definitely don't want to talk to him. So that's fine.
Okay. Only if you're going to Barcelona, you can call in. Tell us something good about Barcelona. We could use a nugget about Barcelona.
Oh, well, don't worry, we'll be fine there. We're gonna be busy, and we're gonna go check out some Dolly swag, and we're gonna. There's a lot of good stuff. Not Dolly
really?
Parton.
Nice.
Salvador.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Dolly, not Dolly.
Yeah.
Just in case you got all yeehaw. No. Dolly Parton's gonna be there.
She's the painter.
Yeah, she's about 400 years old anyway. So.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely dope. You go to the park there, and Barcelona is beautiful. It's like one of those. Both cities are actually really good because it's like if you've never been there, those are 2 classics.
I'm checking the weather in Barcelona.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a show. There's a show for you.
There's a show right here.
Old white guy checks weather.
Old white guy checks weather.
.com.
It's 51 degrees there. Sweet. I don't have to wear a jacket.
Nice, 51. Sounds good to me.
3 in the morning.
No, again, the food, unbelievable. That's the best part. We're gonna have some because I love
Meat.
seafood too. So it's like they kill it there.
Yum.
Yeah, if you like meat, you're going off. You'll be porked out of your mind if you guys be cutting that shit off. And go, yeah, it's ridiculous. There's like legs hanging everywhere.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Bacon.
Crazy.
Can you get everything wrapped in bacon while you're there?
it's their own version, but yeah, you can pretty much.
I'll take it.
Yeah, wrap it. Yeah, if you're one of the, because I asked KGI how much response we had on even ADSI in general, because we were late. We're late to the fucking punch, and we were like, not sure if we could afford. Basically, if it wasn't $428, it would have been like, at least I was thinking it was gonna be like $5,000-6,000 right out of the gate, which is like, would have sucked.
Oh, that's a great price to pay. Yeah. I would say you should check the fine print on your ticket to see what you really can carry on the plane.
I got the insurance, and it better not say anything about no fucking luggage, or I'll go ballistic on them. But
I know you don't have a checked bag with that.
Of course, I'll have to pay. Yeah. I knew that, but still, it'll be like, if I'm thinking like, okay, if it's $650 in the end or something, it's still good, And
everybody can take bets on how much it's actually going to be. When he realizes, he goes, "Holy shit!"
what did they do to me? No, yeah, you just get your foot in the door now for,
Right.
for that much money. If you want your whole body in, you got to pay.
Dude, I don't even think they're going to bring you peanuts in that class.
Oh, don't
You're
even
in
worry.
trouble.
Don't even worry.
Yeah, no.
Don't
Will you take pictures of that? Because I'm serious. It's going to be a middle seat right there,
Yes.
and they're going to skip them on the drink service, and you
No,
know
I'm lucky.
the seat's not going to recline.
I always get skipped because I'm sleeping.
It's going to be reruns of Happy Days the whole way.
No way, man. I always do good. I always I get the empty. Like, this last flight, I was like, oh yeah, the last guy's definitely gonna sit here. And he like came over and he put his bags above me, and me and the guy were both talking about it a minute earlier. Like, there's no way, because he had the window seat open, just sitting there. And then the guy goes, oh, I'm not sitting there. And I was like, oh, sweet. Close the door, boom. I moved to the window seat.
Nice.
Fell asleep just like you. Boom.
That's great.
Hell yeah.
It's like time travel.
It's weird, right?
Yeah. You're like,
You going to do a show from the plane?
can't really do it.
We can record it and
record
upload it later.
Annoy everybody.
And annoy the hell out. Hey, welcome to the Adam Dunn Show.
Hey, welcome to the Adam Dunn Show.
I'm going to play the intro really loud on a
I'm just going to...
And we'll have wires going across the aisle, and we'll be like, make it
with that beard?
Yes.
Forget it. That's a scene from Harold and Kumar.
Bright.
Oh, yeah.
People trying to sleep next to me.
And thanks to Illuminar once again for...
Oh yeah.
Let's just do like shout outs and wind it down if the whatchamacallit's going to call in.
Yeah, they're not calling.
We'll do like the
shout out to lucidgreen.com.
No, they had enough. They had enough. Illuminar, Scott Ruby, the whole crew there. We're going to have them on the show obviously soon. They have good product line, and it's like, and the original owner is been in the industry a long time too, so it's not like just new kids on the block in the sense that it's like actually old kids on the block retooled and dyed and upgraded for the
reboot.
Yeah, which is nice because then you got the experience, plus you got the kind of shaking out a lot of the other competition, which is like it was a race to the bottom, but now it's also technology beating the sort of coming ahead where it's like kind of where it's exciting, you know what I mean? Where things get like, you see the evolution of lighting. It's getting now to the point where, okay, now these LEDs are actually going to be cost effective enough. And so I think we'll have a bunch of giveaways soon like we did before. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Skunky, right? What was his name? Skunky what?
Skunky who?
Skunky who?
That one what?
That won a light.
It wasn't Skunky anyone. It was Todd.
No, Skunky won once. Skunky dude or something.
It was before your time.
Yeah,
it was that Todd dude that won the last lights.
Not the last ones, the ones before. Those Skunky guy, Skunky something. Yeah, we can't remember.
Man, I don't know.
I don't remember. It's Skunky, call in and remind us. So we have a bet going.
I always just remember the last winner, man.
Yeah, it's goldfish style.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Can't absorb more than one last thought. Anyway, so yeah, welcome to the family. We worked at, it was like literally Mercury retrograde to the max, right? So
it was crazy.
Basically my deal with them was to, start the process off as instead of them just, sponsoring the show slow, we just kind of start off with like, boom, let's do this. You get us a computer, we'll fucking make the show that much better for everybody. We'll have higher speeds, everything. So we had you find the computer, you found it. I got it all organized and
last minute stuff, man. It was funny because
they talked to these guys for 2 hours.
Nice. Oh, really?
And it was like at the very end of the 2 hours, they're like, "Oh, we can't send it." It's like, wait a minute, you left me on here for 2 hours, and then they said they can't send it because the address didn't match the fucking card.
You couldn't. Yeah, I get it. Fraud protection.
And it was like, but then later I thought about it. I was like, it's stupid though, because you can change the address of delivery if you do it on your own Amazon. So it's what I mean. So,
well, yeah, it was just different because we didn't go through Amazon. Otherwise, it would have been because
whatever.
We had to actually call the distributor, and it was just funny because
to get it rushed.
It was just the perfect storm. Like I had tons of packages and like people calling out and all kinds of stuff, and I was like, we need this computer. I was trying to go into every 5 seconds, going to look real quick and sending you stuff. And
oh my god, I know.
It was hilarious.
It arrived.
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Supposedly, but I don't know. My phone's dead, so who knows? But the
We're done.
It'll be here when you get to Barcelona.
no, well, the worst case scenario, we have Josh coming the day after, so we thought about it. You know, we got I got the backup guy.
Shit, you're
got
just
the
finding
cleanup.
this out now.
No,
There
he's
goes
not-
your trip.
No, he's not him.
knew
It's the other
about
guy.
it.
It's the other guy.
Yeah,
Josh.
sorry, Josh.
He's not. Yeah, no, he knows. I told him he's cleanup crew. It's like when we, dude, I forgot this and I forgot that, and I need one of those and 6 of these, and it's way better because it always happens because we're going with all sorts of.
Oh, so he's not going with us? Like, for
No.
sure? Oh.
He's going with us, but he's coming the day after.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's a little bit of insurance. Yes.
I figured instead of having to have him come on a different flight at the same time and by himself anyway, come the day after, and then we'll already be there, and we don't have to then we can fit more shit in the car because getting out and finding 6 people with fucking shit, and you're trying to get a cab, and it's like, oh my god, so 5 is already enough
There's an app
for that.
for taxi.
Yeah, it's called Uber.
No, Uber got canceled in January.
What, in Spain?
Yeah. Or at least in Barcelona.
No, I'm sure.
But if you go to your Google app like you were normally going to get there and you click on the hail thing,
Yeah.
there's
Oh.
a taxi thing you can download the app.
There you go. Well,
Cool.
handy tips from some white guy
Hey,
on some
a
show.
nugget.
A nugget.
If you don't speak fluent Spanish and you don't know where you're going, you
Dude,
could. You know,
not that I want to
yeah.
use it, but that Google Translate is ridiculous nowadays.
I know.
You can
I
just, You can
know.
just point it at a menu and
I
be
wish,
like, oh,
I wish
okay.
I had a pixel in the fucking earbuds.
wait, what do you
'cause it
mean
does the
pointed at a
real-time.
menu?
Now you want one of these. Now you want fucking get that combined with fucking the glasses, and you don't have to fucking. You just kind of walk around and bing.
Yeah,
It's,
right.
kinda, it's like finally the glasses would be useful. You know what I mean? Because they weren't so useful when it was just like getting weird, like shit, kind of scrolling on the side there or whatever.
Do you know how dumb people are going to get?
Oh my god!
They're going to get so dumb. We are days away from idiocracy.
I know.
It might be happening right now.
It already was. I told
Yeah,
you.
I know.
It was on Freeman Street. I saw it.
Yep.
I saw a guy hold a sign that said "Kick me in the nuts." It was like literally out of my balls. Like and I couldn't believe it because we were already talking about it. And we were walking up, and I was like, if I was on mushrooms right now, I wouldn't have stopped laughing just because it was like, we just smoked a joint. And it was like already making me laugh. But I know that if I was on acid or mushrooms, I would have been like on the floor rolling because everywhere I looked was just weirdness and just the worst. Like, it was like it got to the middle of it, and it was a guy dressed up in like with some horns, and he had those weird fake leg things on, like animal, like sheep legs, and a thing on his cock, and he was like really out of shape, and it was like, what is that guy doing? And he was dancing around, and it was like not pretty sight at all. And then
gosh.
there was a girl with no legs, and she was sort of spinning around on this thing, and I was like, oh, definitely if I was tripping, this would be too much. And then I was like really loud. There's people going across on the fucking
on the zip wire,
on the zip lines, and I was like, "This is definitely idiocracy right now." And then we walked up to the stage, and the guy had a sign that said "Kick me in the nuts," and I was like, "That's it."
I'd like to introduce to you President Camacho.
Oh, well, we already have him. We've had him for fucking years now.
I think President Camacho
would have been better.
Got his business license at Costco, like where what's his name got his law degree. Aisle 2057.
Yeah, no, it was definitely weird because it was like, oh my, and also just the combination of the people because it was like the exact description they used in the movie where they were like combination of like redneck valley girl and like some undescribable fucking thing you couldn't figure out, and it was like, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So yeah,
We're there. Idiocracy.
Just go to Vegas. It's
It's
already happening.
Shout out to Incredibles.
Shout out to Incredibles. Shout out to Wallace Wow. Shout out to New Millennium. Shout out to Seeds Here Now. All the sponsors and Green Farms, of course. I think that was it, right? Oh, and Build a Soil. Boom. Now we got them all. It's a lot of sponsors.
I missed the list, so I'm sorry.
That's great.
You could have missed someone.
A lot of sponsors.
I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of dedicated people.
We get some more.
Yeah, it's the only thing. Like I said, we only get the ones that we really want to work with, and it's good to have Illumina on board because we've been talking about it for a while, and now we finally got some action happening. I think we'll see, but either way, we're gonna get it and make it happen. So, by hook or by crook, the Adam Dunn Show will be on
Barcelona,
from Barcelona, and from Amsterdam, which is going to be even more weird. So that's going to be the one that's going to be bizarro.
Do we have to speak in Spanish and in Dutch during those shows, or
Of course,
we can
fully, yeah,
okay.
fluid, yeah, of course.
We'll use Google Translate.
Yeah, we'll just stand there with your Google Translate, and we really don't.
That'll be fun.
No, there's no need to adjust languages on the Adam Dunn show. I think we're pretty much stuck. Oh, here he comes.
No!
Is that Peter Papadopoulos?
It might be.
Really? Yo,
You're live on the air.
Hey, did I win?
who's that, my friend?
Who did, this is Skunky. Did I win?
No, there was no win. No, there was no win.
Barcelona?
You didn't win a trip to Barcelona. No, I'm sorry, Skunky. But no, that's funny. I'm glad you're listening.
That's so great.
Call back.
Man,
that's good.
Shout out to
I was just
Skunky.
thinking that earlier. I was thinking, man, why don't y'all give away a vacation? I want that too. But yeah, dude, I got the light, the Luminar lighting, and coming into the final stages of the first run, and it's a nice light.
Sweet.
I'm really enjoying it.
That's perfect, man. So yeah, when how many weeks out? A couple weeks, I think, or
No,
Not
probably
even?
within the next one or something.
Oh, sweet. So
I had been using like single-ended.
Uh-huh.
And this one definitely runs a little bit warmer, but it's been okay in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
But put another single beside it just in the last couple of days to start some other ones, and can definitely see a difference in the brightness and intensity. I don't have a light meter,
Yeah, but put it on the visual. That's cool. So yeah, we'll probably have those guys coming on the show soon. So we should have you on that show. You should definitely call in and give us some kind of final report, since it'll be probably.
But you can only win once in a lifetime. Sorry, Skunky. It's almost the show.
No. Skunky's going to be on it,
I'll
dude.
miss out on the grand
Don't tell
prize,
Tony
like,
Baloney that.
Europe.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Don't tell Tony Baloney he's like won everything.
Sorry, we're about to give a trip to Barcelona away right now, Skunky. But since you've already won, we can't offer it to you. We're so sorry.
Yeah.
Man, once in a lifetime winner.
No.
Okay, guys.
That's not
true.
true.
Rules are rules.
Saying, yeah.
Thanks, Skunky.
These lights are working pretty well, and I'm probably gonna ditch the rest of mine and maybe get a couple more of those. And these are the first really ones that I've had that are legit dimmable. So
Skunky.
these could be like.
Can I ask you a question?
3. Yeah.
Do you have Peter Papadopoulos' phone number?
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't know. I don't, man.
Okay.
I guess he's pretty hard to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I'll let you guys go. Have a good one.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Peace.
Bye.
See ya.
Everybody but Pete.
He might have had the phone number. I'm telling you, he could have just checked in his phone.
Yeah, I sent it to him. I sent him all this stuff. I sent him the number, the Skype. It's easy. Just go to Skype and go Adam Dunn Show. Boom, you're there. How hard is that?
It's not hard. AdamDunshow.com.
Even that, you don't even need that. You just say Adam Dunn
Just
Show.
put the international code, man.
What is
Yeah,
that?
man.
Plus 420?
Oh no, he's from the States. He's not stupid.
Oh, cool.
He's
Okay.
from Boston.
I don't know, man.
That might explain it.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, so we did little shout outs there. Shout out to my beautiful wife Cece, little Nick, who I got him a Lego Mania thing that he's gonna go nuts with, which is like, yeah, ridiculous.
Sweet.
It's ridiculous. So when I get home, it's gonna be mayhem, I'm sure, for sure. Shout out to Ace down at the farm. Shout out to Kevin down there, also helping her out. Shout out to Jenelise and to Haley, who came through earlier, and the crew down in St. Croix, and all those guys will obviously be now having more ideas and more things. Everybody wants, exactly like I said earlier, you go down there and you're just like, oh, well, don't think I want to move out of here.
Nope.
Think of any reason possible to not actually have to leave. I will.
Yo vivo está en Barcelona.
Yeah, same idea. Like I say, it does get. I mean,
I
Europe's
didn't say
a
that right.
Yeah,
Did I?
nah, of
I don't
course
think
not.
so.
Definitely not. Now, don't ask me though, please. And
Yo tengo un lápiz. Mi lápiz es amarillo.
shout out to, I guess, for Dave. I guess we're gonna even have to shout him out for coming by the show.
Thank you for having me. It
And
was fun.
14ers for supplying us with all the good flavors, and fucking Lucid for getting free advertisement like 92 times on the show. It's okay.
Hey, listen, they're
Now
with
I remember.
Incredibles.
Yeah.
Incredibles is doing Lucid.
Okay.
What can I say? You know, one of your sponsors
Incredilucid.
is going to have the Lucid on their products. Check it out.
Okay. Sounds good. Don't say it one
We have
more time.
23 more users right now.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. And we'll be seeing you on the road, I'm sure. I'll be seeing you on some Southwest flight.
Yes, you will.
Come on, my
No
friend.
Southwest this trip. They don't fly to Barcelona.
No?
No.
Really?
Not
No, they
yet.
don't get, no.
Hawaii now.
So where you going?
Barcelona.
No, wait, what airline you going on?
I don't want to say.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They'll be waiting for me.
For sure, yeah, you don't want to do that. Like I said, people have lost their jobs being on the show. So it's a well-known fact.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You don't want to be on the Adam Dunn show.
No. Hold on to this recording until we're back in the United States.
Yeah, you want to stay as far away from my show as possible.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. Peter, we're coming to get you anyway, don't worry. Peter and Peter. So we had two Peters. They were both bald, and I had all these like bald-headed jokes and things in my head, and I had you. So, like, you actually have more hair than them, and I could have made you
Thank
feel
you.
good for yourself.
Appreciate it.
But now I don't get to make you feel good about yourself at all. But now it was like,
Okay, good.
And then even Peter Papadopoulos was like, yeah, we could have, if we put our heads together, we could create an ass or something like that. We make an ass out of ourselves. I was like, so I was getting ready for that one. I was getting ready for that one. That was going to be a good one.
You always been the bullpen heated up, ready to go?
I had it all going. I was like heaters. I had heaters ready. No, it was
Zingers.
wing dingers. Yeah, well, no. And again, if you're in Barcelona or Barcelona or whatever you want to call
Barcelona.
it. Barcelona. You have to lisp, a lot of lisping. Barcelona. Yeah, don't forget your lisp.
Okay.
If you are there and you go by Tresor, which is Tresor BCN, and if you want to look them up on their Instagram account and get their location, but they are downtown there and they have a cool spot. And
You have to ask for the Dunn deal.
Dunn deal, 100%, and you will get free admission and free membership. So
You will save
Nice, dude.
euros.
you will save. You and your group of 100 people will come in.
Sweet.
They'll be like, what? 100 people?
100.
Oh, and Petey will be so mad at me. Be like, too many people came in. Went from none of them to two. I've had a couple go in there, which is funny. He got shocked. He didn't know what the hell was going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this
That's
this
funny.
Norwegian girl or someone came in. I want the done deal. Calls me, what's this done deal?
Free.
Oh,
Everything is free.
I forgot to tell you. Yeah.
That's
you,
funny stuff.
you get taken care of.
I love it.
For sure. All right, guys. See you next week, but probably before, because we're going to be on the road starting on Monday, and we'll probably be throwing some snippets up here and there to keep you guys in the
Nuggets.
loop of, little nuggets all the way, and keep you guys in the loop of what we're doing. And we don't know what we're doing, so
We don't know what we're doing.
we don't know what we try to, but we don't. Later.
Sure. Later.
Peace.
Bye.
Is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record album have their own hidden.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing. We want you to smoke the natural herb. Some call it marijuana, some call it sensimedia, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it ganja.